Hello, there we go. Hello, everybody out there in the internet lands. I am your wonderful host with the most from coast to coast, Shannen, the anime misfit, and welcome to episode 12 of CCP. Joining me as always is our channeler of the chat and the man who now knows what the difference between rugby and soccer, Lamp.
Hello, everyone. Yes, hello.
And joining us today from all the way from Raccoonvilles, a man whose scruffy beard knows no less, a man who knows things about analysis, and a man who digests anime and anime YouTubers. It's Shaybs / Caribou-kun. Which one is it?
You can call me Shaybs. Hey, it's Shaybs. Thank you for complimenting my beard, which I have very little self-confidence in, so it's a nice boost to my confidence.
I like the beard. It's very scruffy.
I do appreciate that. Thank you.
People say girls can't dig the beard. They can if it's cared if it has a nice shape.
Yeah, I do need to trim it though. I do need to take better care of it. I'm really bad at that.
Let's see, it's nice. Oh my god, we actually have chat at the beginning of the stream. Look at that. All y'all.
Hello, Unknown Otaku.
And hello. Oh my god, Cordius Maximum. Hey, everybody. So, we got a fun show tonight. First, do a little bit of an icebreaker. So, Shaybs, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, so, I make videos about anime and as well as anime YouTubers, not like drama or anything like that, but I talk about other people's content on my second channel. I run a weekly series called AniTube Digest, going over the best and not so best anime YouTube videos that come out every week. And other than that, my main channel is a combination of video essays, which I've been doing since 2016, and AMVs, which we're still keeping it alive. They're not dead, and I love making them. I just had a collab a couple months ago now. I did a collab with other anime YouTubers, and we made an entire album-length AMV. Each of us took a track and made an AMV to it, and it's a playlist you can find on my channel. Pretty sweet.
Wow. All right.
That's ambitious. Yeah. Look at you getting your roots deep into the festering pools of the community.
That's right. I can't leave, and I don't want to.
I mean, we're all in this together.
Is that Stockholm talking?
I mean, it's more like we don't. It's not like no one leaves. It's just you kind of go to the 7-Eleven and then come back.
I mean, but some people do leave. It is spooky sometimes. You got Goat Jesus never came back. He deleted his Twitter too and everything. Anime Every Day. He was a great guy.
Slapshoes left me from NASCAR.
He just disappeared. Just blipped off the map. He's gone. It stinks.
I'll never let him live it down, but I do miss him. Slapshoes left me for NASCAR.
Damn, haha. It'd be like that. Yeah, at least they sound like they're still making content though.
Yeah,
or is it just general NASCAR?
No, he moved when he his second thing is I mean, let's go back for Slaps was like our first guest on here on the first podcast, and we became friends like that. And just when we did a collab together about a episode, his NASCAR content on his other channel skyrocketed. So
oh boy, yeah.
And between all that and the stress of the seasonal anime format, he kind of just had to vamoose.
Yeah, he burnt out on it.
Yeah.
Very fair. That happens to a lot of people for sure. Specifically with the with anime YouTube, because they feel like they can only talk about the most hip seasonal stuff, and then the past couple of years especially has gotten really ridiculous with keeping up with shows and stuff. Mm-hmm. I do think the community is starting to burn out as a whole. I do start getting those vibes.
Yeah, we've talked about it loads of times on this show. There's just too much fucking anime. Even for me, I've been finding my own ways to watch. I've been doing the binging format. I will wait at least 3 weeks or even half a season just to watch all the shows I want, because I already know what I want to watch, and if I watch week by week now, I ain't gonna catch up.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I only pick up one seasonal, maybe two, and then I've grown more comfortable binging stuff. Like Black Clover is so much easier to binge. Like that shit sucks watching week to week because
Yeah.
they love that they love their cliffhangers and just stopping the episode at the in the most unsatisfying, inconclusive fashion, knowing there's going to be another episode. So it's just like fuck it, I'm just gonna binge and I'm like 25 episodes behind now. But I catch up quick with that shit.
And
I
I
really do.
and
It goes back. It goes down really quick.
and I loved my experience watching My Hero with my friend not worrying about keeping up. I know that as a AniTuber, like we like the smaller ones like myself need to like keep up with the seasonal content, but I'm like there's like I learned that I noticed that that in terms of AniTube it's starting to shift back to a if you make just whatever shit you want and you just marketed that, which we'll get to that in a moment with today's topic, then
Right.
people will come. It's just I mean, we don't have to be shackled. I think you're right. The burnt outness of the seasonal format is causing I think it's gonna force content to change and how we view newer content.
I fucking hope so.
I hope so too. I don't want to like spend 3 months every 3 months going down a list of anime I'm not gonna all watch. Be forced to watch everything just to keep up, and then bada boom, bada bling, I drop like 90% of them.
Oh god, yeah. Yikes. I don't drop anything. That's just how I am as a person, but in exchange for that, I'm very selective. I'm not going to choose something that I don't think at a glance or at an OP or something. I'm not even going to try it. Because I'm like a lot of mentality a lot of people have with dropping is like, oh, there's only so much time in my life. So it's like, and so my perspective is like, I'm just gonna watch the stuff I'm pretty sure I'm going to like, or at the very least I want to have something to say about. Like I did want to get to the bottom of what was so great about Gintama, and because everyone who gets that far with Gintama loves it to pieces. And at the time that I decided to watch it, it was just about to finish the anime and everything. And it was going to be like a total of 365 episodes, roughly. It's like 368 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, it's December, an episode a day, And I really do like watch schedules like that, but doing that, I ended up not really liking the show all that much, but I stuck with it. I was able to watch the whole thing and was like, yeah, I can understand why people would like it for this and this reason, but I don't. And not just be like, Gintama bad, but not like I've seen all of it, right?
Right.
But the good thing about what I love about it that I'm very grateful for is that it allowed me to watch stuff alongside it. I would not have gotten around to otherwise. So I watched a lot of long stuff. Like I watched all the first 4 original seasons of Digimon. I had never seen those. I watched Ojamajo Doremi, which is one of my favorite anime now. I have a video of it.
That stuff gets dark real in later seasons, man.
Yeah, that's certainly a conception. It's very lighthearted for the most part, but then there are parts where it crushes you in the feels, especially the endings. The endings of each season, they really fucking hit you with a truck.
Original like unedited kids anime back in the day was pretty dark. Like it went there, and then America's like, let's just take it out. Let's take out all feelings of like sadness because kids can't feel sad and stuff.
Yeah.
They still do that. They still do that now with like Pretty Cure.
Yeah, I mean, do they even have anything past Glitter Force? Have Saban even licensed anything past Glitter Force?
I don't think
which was
so.
Smile Precure was the one they got.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that they got any other seasons of Precure.
Yeah. You think there wouldn't be much changing, but they're like, let's just check out all the, like, 8 episodes or, like, all the Japanese episodes that reference anything to Japanese culture. Because they're like, kids will understand Japanese culture, so let's just not have it. And
Although,
mhm,
at least in the 80s, it's really funny because one of the things I was working on for Discotek, I happen to do work for Discotek, by the way.
mhm,
Um, they had me work on something where I had to match the old English dub that they got bootlegs of because no one could find the originals. They were just lost to time, but they were preserved by fans or whatever, and they have like bootleg rips of the dub. And so I had to match that audio to the like the original kind of standard quality, nice looking Japanese footage. But the dub cuts out scenes and everything, right?
mhm.
They cut out all the scenes of like extreme violence, blood, some satanic imagery in this show. I can't say what the show is yet. But when it's announced that we have it, I'm definitely making a thread of all the because I documented all of them. But
Mhm.
what I was trying to say was like it's really interesting to see what they will cut and what they will not cut because there are some episodes that they did release that you would never believe were on children's television, and then they cut other scenes. You're like, but that wasn't okay. What?
Was it the ending of like Digimon season 3 dark? Because that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think so. No, it's more just like very standard. Like, oh, a gun fires, and they quickly cut that scene out of depicting
Oh,
the
so you
gun.
mean like Yu-Gi-Oh, like in Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds, where they cut out them holding
A little bit,
guns?
yeah,
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 it's just
little stuff
finger
like that.
guns. At some
Yeah,
point,
but
wasn't it?
yeah, it's funny. Um, but yeah, I am pretty happy with what I've been watching, how I've been watching things lately. I feel like I've been in a good place with it. You know, like some people are they have trouble watching anime
Mhm.
because like they can't get it. You know, they're just not into it or whatever. I don't know.
Panzu Party says that Hasbro has Pretty Cure now in the West.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Is that a good thing?
I wonder what other shows they've gotten a hold of,
You
or
know,
if they've
That's
been.
not good, right?
no, that's the My Little Pony guys and the
Yeah, I
Transform.
know, but is that good or bad that they got a
It
hold of
doesn't
that
matter. I
one?
think it's a good thing because it makes it accessible to people in the West that they
Ah,
wouldn't
that's
have
true.
otherwise.
Plus,
Like
it's on Netflix.
the
I don't really.
demographic it's actually for, you know?
Yeah.
You might have kids like, oh my god, I grew up on this show. We're not going to see the gains of that, now. They're not going to be on Twitter saying they love that it's on Cubo or something.
Could be thing?
It's gonna make it hopefully an impact on some younger kids, and I think that's great.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I remember Cubo, man. I
Yeah,
remember
I don't think
Cubo.
it's the whole thing. I would imagine it is.
Before, no, I mean, I think Cubo still lives. I think barely, man. Like, the only thing I really watched the most on, like, a Hasbro was Dan Versus. Man, I love that show. I love that show so much. It was the odd one out of all the. It was so cynical for a show about a guy who was like trying to get revenge on people who wronged him in that episode. And I'm like, this is on Hasbro with My Little Pony, and Transformers, and all the like Little
Yeah,
Pet Shop.
I remember they had like a pretty good roster. They had a pretty good lineup for their own channel and stuff. I think it was HUD
Mm-hmm.
Hub or something. It's like a purple logo.
That was
I don't
called the
remember.
Hub. The Hub.
Yeah, the Hub.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, the Hub.
That show went through and it was then it was Discovery Family at one point.
Yeah, yeah. This is bringing back some good memories because like I did not grow up with Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network or Disney Channel.
What? Not even Disney Channel?
No, because I didn't have the channels when I was a kid.
Oh.
I had basic cable. So what I had was PBS Kids, which means yeah, I'm a really really big fan of Arthur still.
I mean, who isn't though? Come on.
I do stand that show. It's really good, even
Arthur's
now.
amazing.
Yeah, and but then on Saturdays they did have ABC Kid. Like ABC would be taken over by some Disney Channel programming, so I'd see like The Replacements or Emperor's New School or other stuff like that. And then that was the time that CW or it would bounce from various channels and stuff, but that was 4Kids TV or Foxbox.
I remember
or
Wishbone. Wishbone was great.
Toonzai. Toonzai was the last kind of iteration of it before they had to shut their doors, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But that was the station that was playing the 4 Kids, One Piece, Doremi, Kirby, Kinnikuman, Ultimate Muscle, Fighting Foodons.
Didn't like half those shows move to Jetix after a while, and then like
they would be a little combined with Jetix. I think there'd be some crossover.
And then eventually, just like Disney XD's like improved anime kids block, which I gotta say, for a kids block, they do way better than the Cartoon Network try to do with their kids anime block by putting Pokemon at like 6 a.m. in the morning. So Pokemon was like, "Fuck it, we're going to Disney," and so they went to Disney.
Yeah, definitely. It does seem to be in a better place. And now, the new season of Pokemon is going to be on Netflix.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the 2019 version is airing I guess in chunks. I guess when they come out. But I guess now at this point they can catch up because Pokemon is on hiatus.
I still don't understand the new season though. Like
yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
I mean, I'm all good for different. Like they needed a different formula. I think they're like, well, Ash finally won a fucking region. Let's just have him travel for a while as a Pokemon master, so that people can shut up about it.
They're not showing him as a Pokemon master. He's still saying he wants to be. He doesn't feel like he is a Pokemon master. Is what at least what the logic in the new series was saying.
But isn't he like? Isn't this like post Sun and Moon where he actually won?
It totally is. There's never a, contrary to popular belief, there really is never really a retcon of Pokemon. Like it is sequential. They just don't. He just doesn't reference it ever. I think it's part of Ash's personality where he somewhere along the way he just kind of stopped caring. And I guess it's just you can be arbitrary about this and be like, oh, it's just the fucking show writers and give a shit. But I take it as part of Ash's personality. He doesn't like looking back, and he just wants to focus on the present and what he's doing now, because he's not once in this new series did he ever mention that he was a ranked finalist or literally won he's literally the Alolan champion. He never mentions that, and it doesn't factor into the new tournament that's happening in this new series, which is like it's like a multi-region wide random tournament where you get like ranks, and so like he can climb up the ranks and he's gonna face the champion or whatever, who we already fought and did decent at. I'm sorry, I'm a big Pokemon fan. Pokemon anime fan.
Is it Leon? Is it? It
very deep there for a sec. I'm sorry.
Is it gonna and as Neo says, like he didn't become the very best, like no one ever was. No, he didn't. He just gets reset. But
no, I mean, he still has his skills. The only times it really feels like he was reset was Black and White, because he was literally doing things that he should have known better as a trainer.
Yes, like Black and White was his best. No,
when you see him battling with Pikachu in these new series, he has the competence. He's a really good, but he's skilled, and it makes sense in the world. It's not really a matter of being reset. It's just he voluntarily doesn't. He's not throwing in like his previous gen Pokemon. He doesn't want to use those Pokemon. He likes using new Pokemon and making new friends and shit. It's just a thing with him, and a lot of older fans kind of don't see that, because like the first couple seasons of Ash, he's super cocky and super a lot more engaging as a protagonist, to be honest with you. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's reset necessarily, but there are, if he fucks up, then it's like, okay, what happened there?
Yeah.
But I feel you. It's easy to be kind of disillusioned with Pokemon these days. It sucks.
It is, but we should be getting back to our main topic at hand.
Yeah, I opened a can of worms there.
Yes. Before that, Lambs, we got what's the opening comments? We actually got double digits today. So what we got?
So aside, let's see, we got the first ones already out of the way. I'm hoping with the disruption of current seasonal schedule is going to push people to branch out with video topics when talking about AniTubers specifically, like anime video games. And then we have Wizard Mon's Existential Crisis hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro has the rights to Precure. Doki Doki and Smile Precure are both dubbed and on Netflix as Glitter Force.
Yeah, that's it.
Sailor Moon was heavily censored, like Hotaru being crucified.
Mm-hmm.
Love Jetix and Left Wishbone. Let's see here. Pokemon's on indefinite hiatus because of the virus. How old is Ash supposed to be at this point?
We don't know.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't
10,
matter.
I thought it was 10. Whatever. Yeah.
It's not even, because like it contradicts itself, because in the original series they celebrate
His
1 year
birthday.
anniversary of being on the road together. So canonically he needs to be at least 11. But then in Pokemon Black and White, I don't remember if it was the Japanese audio or the dub messed it up. I doubt it. I think it's the Japanese audio. They say he's 10 again, and it's like, oh no,
No,
but it honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't get mentioned again.
I agree with the comments. This is Ash is immortal.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's like, does anyone ask if like why is Arthur still in the 3rd grade, or fucking, which he did move to the 4th grade recently, like a season ago.
Finally.
Or like Crayon Shin-chan, right? Or the Saze-san. Saze-san's been going for like 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
50 years or something like that, and obviously they haven't aged. So it's like, come on.
I would like to talk about how like Buster from Arthur moved away and then came back after the controversy was over.
But there controversy? I don't remember being a controversy.
Oh man, there was a controversy. I'm gonna be real ass quick so we actually get to the fucking topic today. But apparently they were gonna make a spin-off Arthur series about postcards from Buster, and it was gonna be about visiting different types of families and their lives around the world. Around the country. And the show got immediately canceled after the LGBT episode. Basically, the show was looking into the lives of a family with 2 moms. Conservative media did not.
First of all, him leaving for a season happens way before the episode where they visit New York. It's a 2-parter, and that was the test pilot basically for the Postcards with Buster. And they saw it was really successful, and kids really liked that program, I would imagine. So that's what they decided to do, Postcards with Buster, and there's like 2 seasons of that. And it was probably put down because of that reason, for sure. But I don't think that. I think those 2 are very different. I mean, you could probably make it in canon, but
no, they made Mr. Rapper and Gay like later down the line when it finally was like the thing to do on media.
I'm pretty sure the New York episode is like season 5 or 6, and Buster leaving is between seasons 2 and 3.
Yeah, and then later on when things became more friendly with LGBT and stuff, they decided to make Mr. Rapper and Gay.
Gay Rat Wedding a year ago. It happened a couple days ago. It was the 1-year anniversary. Yeah, Gay Rat Wedding.
Oh yeah. All right. So, actual damn topic of the day. So, AniTube. I think people have different opinions on how AniTube is seen by other parts of YouTube, and
other parts of the internet,
or other parts of the internet. Last episode, we talked about how there's still that kind of disconnect between like AniTube and each other, and how we need to collab more. But I want to kind of go above that idea about how we should be promoting each other, promoting ourselves, and overall like making AniTube like. How should AniTube promote our own YouTube channels and ourselves? Yes, we have and for the record, I'm going to X out anybody who's already pretty much made it as an AniTuber with the millions of subs like Nixtaku or the Anime Man or Aki Dearest.
Yeah. Jeff just got 1 million.
Jeff just got 1 million, so like there's that.
iPatch is at 891. Last time I checked, so he's close. He's creeping up there.
People are getting close, but like on a regular, like a lot of us, there's a big the gap is either you're you're either close to 1 million subs, or you're pretty much under 50k subs. There are people in the middle, but they've been around for a while at this point. I'm just saying the growth to AniTube, like people keep saying that AniTube anime is pretty much mainstream at this point, but it doesn't reflect the growth of YouTube channels, regardless if you're a new creator or not. So, I have some bullet points in my head that I have thought of ways to promote. So, obviously, let's start with the obvious ones. Stuff like this, like the Community Corner podcast. Like, I know what me and Lamp do is that we have this podcast where we invite people like Shaybs to come on the show that are smaller, and we talk with them about stuff and try to get people to see them more, to see us more, because yes, there is a benefit for us to see it, and I'm not gonna hide that. Like it helps our channel get seen by people of their channels, and maybe they want to stay around, maybe they don't, but it shows we're here.
Yeah, for sure.
And I fully acknowledge that. We also do segments within main videos. Like in the middle of the video, we'll have a segment about another AniTuber. While YouTube, you're not really supposed to promote them, we found a way to like make it like a cool little TV segment. But that's what we do. As for you, Shaybs, you want to talk more about how you started your digest, why you did your digest?
Yeah, so I started it in August, late August. I can't remember when I first thought of the idea, but I mainly was basing it off of the Needle Drops series of the of the weekly track roundup. It's literally the same format where he's on camera and he's kind of off the cuff rattling about the best and worst tracks that came out that week. And he has a middle section that's just meh, where he wasn't like crazy for it. But I retooled mine to be a little more constructive and positive because I knew a lot of people who would be watching the videos were going to be these creators, or just people who would be interested in this content and everything. And this sort of discussion isn't obviously happening publicly, or almost at all for some of these guys, because some of these guys are really small, and the only comments they're going to get are like nice video. I liked it. Which is cool, but it doesn't necessarily motivate them to get better. I think the main thing when it comes to growth and promoting your channel, it really ends up coming back to what you produce and your content. Because you could be a really nice guy, or kind of social butterfly, but if you're not putting out content, it's kind of like that your channel is not necessarily going to grow. As I've learned with myself, because I was pretty social at one point, but I would just not make content, or I would just take forever to make content, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Someone in chat asks, Whimsy Dearest in chat asks, do you feel that analysis-based channels get less views than more vloggy, personality-based channels?
I think for AniTube,
sure.
It's the opposite. I do see the trend of analytical videos starting to go out the door because of like how much anime there is to consume. So like, I think that
you would be shocked at how many some of these channels that are so popular that you've never heard of because they're not in our sphere, because all they're doing is stuff kind of like Lost Pause, or what Nux has been kind of veering towards lately, which is personality based, and just jokes and reacting to memes and having a goof, and kind of having fun with the appeal and aesthetic of anime, but not necessarily talking about it. They're not giving any specifics. They're saying kind of the same things over and over with this one channel I checked out. I'm not really going to name it because it's not really the point to name it, but this channel I'm thinking of has 600,000 subscribers. I had not heard of them until like 2 nights ago when somebody one of the servers I was a part of linked their stuff, and I was just floored at how successful they were. They were getting so many views, but I just hadn't heard of them. And all they were doing is making videos like what your favorite Naruto character says about you. What your favorite...
Those videos are so weird. Like, I understand they're funny, but whenever I watch it, it's like, okay, it's your opinion, it's funny, haha, but not really that funny.
And like the weird thing is that they're saying kind of the similar thing to their other videos that they're making like every day, or just the kind of the community consensus of like, just kind of the surface level opinion of these characters or these shows. And they're not necessarily putting out their own perspective, or whether they like the show or not. I would have no idea, right? And it just doesn't seem to be about anime. It seems to be about the idea of it, and that seems to be what's being way more popular nowadays.
I mean, that's what I've seen with trends and videos that I watch about. Like, I'm on the video game sphere when it comes to a lot of reviews about video games and stuff.
Yeah.
But why bother looking at your own opinion and doing all that when you can just take currently community like ideas about what the game is, make a joke about the shallow, like just Google search level of results, and then say, "Oh look, that's my joke, haha, about the game." And I'm thinking, could you talk about everything else about it? Because I know there's like a bunch where you're skipping, but you're just going for the meme jokes. Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, totally.
Well, it might. Well, oh, sorry about it. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. You can say.
Well, you know what I think? I've known from experience about what like I do like it's pretty like bleh. Going back to again last episode on the podcast. Again, I think that's just a part of the growing problem of AniTube and not wanting to just like get to know other parts of AniTube. So you do get those cases very often in AniTube where you have somebody who's really big but doesn't want to interact with anybody. So you either barely know they exist or you kind of like you see them in the background. Like with something like gaming or like now, and the reason like gaming also has this issue is because there's just too many gamers. But in anime, we have a much smaller window compared to that genre.
Yeah,
so when relatively we have a less pool of them. But then like I feel like we need to in terms of promotion, like either the person can promote around them their own, like they're around their tiny thin layer of bubbles, but doesn't want to collab much, or they collab a lot, but they're only known for collabing with other people, which luckily is not an issue here in AniTube because there's like that. But because that's a different thing entirely. But like, what I find interesting when it comes to like the type of channels now being promoted, like Nuxtaku's, for example, I feel like Nuxtaku is the antithesis, or they're basically
you're right.
They're basically the answer to all of the analytical content that's been going on in the past few years, and that's starting to change. Because personally, I was getting tired of analytical AniTube. I mean, yes, I am not an analytical AniTuber, but like. I felt like that there was too many people trying so hard to make a college essay report when most of us are just average Joes who just like anime. And it felt like you couldn't just like anime and be like, I like it because this. You couldn't no longer say I hate this guy because his character design sucks, or you couldn't say feelings. Now I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I'm saying that for AniTube. Analytical content was personally, I keep saying that. Hold on, words don't do well for me. All right, so back to the thing. I respect any AniTuber who can do analytical content and not get tired of it and can always put their own spin on it. But the hot take. But after it was just developing into hot takes from other people. One guy says this, hot take of that. Hot take of that, and then we rinse and repeat especially if a new anime is involved.
Right.
So when I see Nuxtaku, while I do agree that a lot of his antics lately have gotten him into hot water, I can see why he's growing.
Well, the reason he grew is very similar to what I was just talking about, where he found a gimmick, which was flexes. I think we should agree that flexes is exactly what got him to 1 million subscribers.
Yes.
What got him that insane fucking growth. That got
I
him
agree.
to pass Eyepatch Wolf and Jeff to get to 1 million first. It was flexes. And the thing with Nux is he can write so quick, and he would be fine. It would be fine. He'd be okay with not looking back in the episode. I don't know how often he looks back on these episodes to really check for stuff. And he's kind of summarizing a lot of what happens in these fights or the thing that the character does. And the thing with it is, I think your fatigue of analytical content is totally justified, because at the time it was very novel. Because we've gone through phases, right? We've gone through the review phase. Here's my anime review of this show, and some people still do that.
I mean, we do that.
Yeah, but it's because he had to rebrand it, right? The only one who's still calling them reviews, I think, is like Arcada, and there's another person that still very much calls them reviews. But reviews have largely kind of moved on. And around like 2013, 14, we started doing more analytical, like specific stuff.
I feel like
speaking of Arcada, actually someone commented, "Do you feel episode reviews have gone a little out of style like Giga or Arcada and are changing format to more analysis like Digibro and Lost Cause?"
I mean, Super Eye Patch Wolf was super successful with reviews. His videos were literally just reviews. Why you should watch are pretty much just reviews, but they don't have the story character art animation, you know, rigid format.
Putting
He
my
was just kind of
hat,
talking about them very, very organically,
putting my pride
which
on
was
the line.
perfect.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're
I
fine.
keep interrupting you. I'm being rude as the host.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, putting my hat in the ring about this because this channel does anime reviews a lot. I
Yeah.
like that type of form of content. I mean, I personally think that with the amount of anime we're getting, I think that reviews are like the type of content that would be they're like the blue jeans of AniTube. They don't go out of style, but they're just kind of there. But you have to piece it with other things to change it up. And
Yeah. People aren't going to immediately look for blue jeans if they're like, oh, where's the next new blue jean? But they're like, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, you totally. That's a very good comparison.
I just
I do
think,
like.
yeah, I just think that like I think that yeah, reviews just need to be marketed differently. But anyway, continue on.
Yeah, yeah, but like I think the standards for an analytical content has raised significantly from certain players, whether it's from a content perspective like Pause and Select or Cartoon Cipher, who are doing very specific research and making very specific coalesced ideas and videos, and not just like here's my take, kind of what you were referring to. Um, or on a visual standpoint, the kind of experimenting and making better shit like that, which I think Man Mode's a pioneer of that. I would like to think I'm kind of following in his footsteps in that way, and hopefully this video I'm making on Gurren Lagann, which is an analytical video in some respects, is more on an entertaining basis and more of a kind of like this shit's really cool, instead of just like this is the themes of the themes,
When they
which is
throw
very
galaxies.
script based. Which some guys are really good at that, but it is starting to also run its course a little bit. But I think now we're in this sphere where it seems like the subscribers in terms of growth are going to the people who like the aesthetic and appeal, and maybe occasionally drop an anime name or two, uh, but they're not pushing like obscure shit or interesting things necessarily, all in their own right. They're not like I was I made mention. I actually recorded something a little separate, but the guy I was referring to earlier with the 600,000 subscribers that I guarantee you've probably never heard of, kind of deal. Um, his videos seem more like tossing the salad rather than adding to the salad. It's just kind of just you're just stirring things up. You're not necessarily contributing anything.
That's an apt comparison.
Yeah.
Do you think
kind of
AniTubers do you think AniTubers never take criticism?
Yeah.
I mean,
you'd be surprised. I've not gotten anybody on Digest that I gave a not good. Like, a lot of people I give not goods to are not watching my video, right? They're not watching Digest because they don't really give enough of a shit. But some of them I do, and some of them I know watch Digest or will see my video, and they'll take the criticism, and they've been very cordial about it. They don't necessarily agree because the problem with it, right, is the video is made. You can't be like, oh, let me go back and fix that problem you had. You can't really take it back what you say, unless you take the whole video down, which doesn't really happen unless it's very extreme, or there's a very intense negative reaction. But even then, the creator puts some work into that, and they don't want to just take the whole video down. That's very discouraging. So I totally get not wanting to take it down, despite all the vast amounts of criticism you may get. But I do think it's tough, especially if you get a popular video, like mine. When I made Berserk is Unadaptable, which is my most popular video, I got so many of the same comments, like the same criticisms, and oh, but Madhouse could do it, like like 400 times, and each person is like thinking they're the smartest person, like they've made an original comment. You have not. You have not made an original comment, and it just gets really tiring. So you kind of have to take it from the creator's perspective, where, well, it's already out there. I already said it. I can't really take it back unless I take the video down, or I put a pinned comment somewhere, but that's not going to do too much. And then they get super tired of hearing the same criticisms over and over and over and over. So I can understand why they don't necessarily take to criticism too much.
I mean, there's also like, well, that idea too is like, if you do decide to take the video down and make the adaptation and make the change and re-upload it, that also opens a second problem with, well, they took down this video with enough pressure. Why don't we pressure them again?
Yeah, there's like drama to that, and it's like, oh, whatever, man.
As a person going to art school, or who'd been to art school rather, and that's 4 years of my life.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
Well, no, okay. Not important. I can't take. Right. But the point is, art school basically is you put it out there. The next step is don't defend it. Oftentimes, it means just go with it. And even if you don't like what they're saying, you really have to just say, you can't say, no, I didn't mean that. It's like, you know what? They're going to critique that as they want. They're not going to see it the way you saw it. You have to roll the punches. Good luck.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really hard to overcome that sometimes. But, I think that's another reason of many why my ultimate kind of recommendation when it comes to making content, or just anything when it comes to YouTube, is just really like what you made. You're not making it for anyone else but yourself. I mean, you're making it for other people because you want other people to enjoy it, and you get vicarious enjoyment from their enjoyment, sure. But you need to be super happy and confident with what you made. Like, this is my thing, and if you keep that confidence in yourself, it doesn't really matter what other people say.
To be fair, while you may feel confidence, feel confidence in the work you put out there, but there will be a point where you just kind of think, well, crap, and look back on it. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, it's gonna happen. Every artist
looks back embarrassed by your old work, no doubt. Oh yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know what? I put this out there. I'm either gonna move on from this or learn from it, but I cannot keep looking back on it. It does not help anyone.
No, definitely.
Absolutely. One video at a time, and we do that by our first step of trying to promote AniTube, by promoting it with each other. I mean, the argument against doing like the podcast or your digest is that we're small to promote other small channels. It's like feeding like a backwards loop, but hey, it's better than nothing. So
that's true.
I use digest as something for myself, right? Because I think I can speak for a lot of other anime YouTubers that, like, as much as we are remiss that not enough of these anime YouTubers are watching other anime YouTubers, right? We're like, it kind of sucks that they're not part of the community and stuff. At the same time, there are days where I'm just like, I don't care. Or I just like, I don't feel like watching that video, or and you get burnt with other people's content. And digest is a way for me to really motivate myself to actually watch this stuff. Because a lot of other anime YouTubers, it's not on purpose. It's not like they're avoiding it. It's not like they think all of it's bad except theirs. They just don't feel like it. So this is a way, and I know a lot of other YouTubers felt the same way. So I knew with my circles that I was a part of that would see this and would probably consume this, this was a great tool for people who weren't going to click on the video that I clicked on. And I get to tell them how it was, and then maybe they'll check it out afterwards, kind of deal. So there's a utility to it, but also something that I get out of it. And I think that's really important. Even if the thing that you make has a super key utility to it, there should still be some sort of utility for yourself. Like, oh, it's nice that I make this because I get this out of it.
Mm-hmm. So, with you getting that out of it, I would like to segue before we get to more responses to our
Yeah.
second part of the promotion. Okay, let's level it up. Shoutouts. So I know I know that YouTube as a whole, like when it comes to the fastest organic growth, I personally think shoutouts unfortunately are the only way to really do it, because we've seen how people have become overnight like people in the system simply by a bigger channel shouting people out. And there's just been pressure going on about if a bigger I don't hear much in AniTube really, but if what would have what if there was an organized front, or there's more of an effort to push bigger AniTubers to shout out smaller AniTubers? I mean, obviously they need to push who they like, but
there are examples of that. There's a couple. For one thing, I have a personal example. I got my first 100 subscribers and first 1,000 views from that anime snob. He shouted my channel out when he had his old channel before it got deleted because he said stupid shit. He had 10,000 subscribers at the time. I made my first video. I had some connections with him because I did like a podcast with him or whatever. And I sent him my video like, hey, I made my first video. And I did not ask him to do this. He made a video, it wasn't about anything. He just redirected people to my channel. Like, hey, check this guy out. He makes good shit. Because he knew me, right? And I was kind of one of his people at the time. So then, yeah, I would not have. The first 100 subscribers is tough, is really tough, and I'm very, very grateful for that. That he did that for me. There's other examples. Eyepatch Wolf. I don't remember what video it was in, but he shouted out Isla McTeer in one of his videos because it was a Q&A, and someone was like, "You sound like Isla McTeer," or like you both sound, you sound kind of like each other, or like you should check out Isla McTeer. She's like the female version of you. And he's like, "I did not know that," and I checked her stuff out, and it's pretty cool. You guys check it out. And because of that, she got herself to 10K, and I think to like 15K or something like that.
Wow.
And then you had Jeff from Mother's Basement. He was away for a couple weeks for something. He was doing something, and to keep activity on the channel, he gave guest spots to Explanation Point, who really didn't need it, to be honest with you, but they're friends, right? So you had an Explanation Point video on there, and you had another Isla video. So Isla actually had one of her videos on his channel. So she got some growth from that too. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, she's super busy with her work, so she hasn't been like super active on her YouTube lately, which is too bad because she makes amazing content. But it's stuff like that, absolutely. And then Giga, there was 1 year. I don't remember if it was 2017 or I think it was 2017. I don't remember though. But he did an AniTuber rewind, and he had a lot of channels on there, including like Pause and Select, and that was really cool. And granted, still like other bigger kind of channels, and it was really funny when he did that because Lost Pause got super mad that he wasn't included in that rewind because he was like one of the bigger people at the time, and he was just super mad that he just didn't get included. And that was when like a lot of people, we had this like little discussion of like, so is he an YouTuber? He just kind of reacts to anime memes, and that it was funny like that. I consider him an anime YouTuber. There's really no point in distinguishing between the two. Like, you're not an anime YouTuber.
Actually, I've been
critique this enough.
I actually been noticing that like one issue I also see with like promoting AniTube, or like I saw earlier in this comment section about how there's channels that do anime themed content, but they don't see themselves as an AniTuber. So like. Mm-hmm. A lot of artists or the music. There are a lot of people who do music covers of anime or stuff like that, but they will not say they're anime channels.
I mean, yeah, and then you have Necro13, who I had this whole segment on Digest where I just dug into their channel, where I was like, they started with a couple of videos where they literally just talked about anime or something anime related, and then they put out a video saying, "I'm not an anime YouTuber," and it's like, but you put out anime videos. and then
one
you
of
know, so
us.
because he sees, I don't know, he sees like a stigma towards it. He doesn't want to be lumped in with Mother's Basement or Matt or these guys that are constantly chasing promotions with Crunchyroll. Ooh, scary fucking whatever, dude. Like, I don't get it. It's really obnoxious. um but yeah, it's funny. It's weird because like, yeah, but there is a stigma. There is a stigma towards anime YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right.
I mean,
but,
in the same way as there's a stigma against the otaku idea, like, yes, there's otaku fans, but then there's a certain amount of, like, otaku to it, too. And but that's also a good and bad thing. I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird. Whatever.
Hey, be proud to be otaku.
Oh, fact. I do think it is getting normalized. The stigma is just literally like generalizations of, oh, these AniTubers with their no research and their sucking Crunchyroll's dick. Like there are fucking people, specifically on Twitter. And I mean, r/anime pretty much suppresses any anime video nowadays.
Oh, don't
They're
talk
just
to me
tired
about
of it.
them. I tried in the past. I kind of cried when I tried because they really made me feel bad for like promoting my channel.
They're good guys. Like some of them I'm friends with, right? And they just kind of shrug their shoulders, like, yeah, sorry. It sucks. It really does. Like, and it's because truthfully, it is because the impression got kind of soiled with a lot of these other channels that were very popular at the time. I mean, I love Digibro. I love his content. I speak about it, how positive I love it all the time. And I think he's just gotten better and better. But there was that point where he was saturating a lot and he was putting out a lot of spicy stuff and people got really tired of it. And he was kind of, it was around that time where he had gotten kicked off r/anime or something like that. And it's stuff like that where, and I'm not blaming him for it, but it is just kind of a byproduct of what happened. He moved a lot of stuff, like Pedantic Romantic having that video about his review of SAO kind of kneecapped that show's community-wide perception. But he also promoted and restored unkneecapped, if you will,
Can you
K-On!
unkneecap?
As a show, and it's really well beloved now.
The kneecaps are
a lot
gone.
he moves a lot of things, and just because he's so damn prolific. So a byproduct of that, and I think is one of the things where it's like r/anime probably got really sick and tired of seeing his videos pop up at the top of their feed every time. Or the same could be said about Mother's Basement or Super High Patch Wolf or whatever, or a Gigguk video, and so I can imagine they were super tired of it, so they just have this stigma towards it. And I think that stigma was just kind of repeated, and you can see it especially in Twitter. I think it's really annoying. It's really fucking annoying. Thankfully, there are some more active anime YouTubers that are more active on Twitter, like Oceanas, or Nara, who do make videos. Lethargic started making videos, and they were pretty active on Twitter. What's pretty active on Twitter, and he defends anime YouTubers a lot. I really like the arc he's kind of made for himself.
So what you say? So let's so going back. Do you think that part of the this is more like a yes or no, but do you personally think that YouTube the AniTube promotion is kind of being stifled by the stigma because of AniTube itself, like our anime or anime people making content about anime but not being wanting to self-identify as AniTubers, cannibalizing itself?
Yeah, I think there's kind of a mix of that for sure. I don't think there's one particular way to blame anything in particular. I think what just sucks is this: you see where the numbers are going. You see where the numbers are going to Scamboli or to these other bigger guys who, they're making the goofs, and people still suck Demolition D's dick. I like the guy. I do like Demo. But it just kind of, they have this very blind, like, he's the best. and it's and especially Nux. I think Nux really spearheads this. It's just leaning more towards comedy oriented, um, and aesthetic, and not necessarily talking concretely about it. I suppose it's just kind of fallen out of fashion. I suppose. But it's. I think it's fine because not many of us are doing this for money. If you're trying to make it your livelihood, I just don't think this is.
It's not really the most
You'd have to kind of sell your soul in a couple of ways. I think if you want to do it successfully, like what Manime Matt does, or what some of these other bigger channels are doing. Like this is what's getting the views. This is the audience on YouTube, unfortunately, and it's not the same. Maybe I'm just being kind of cynical like that, and I'm just like, it's fine. I don't care about this anymore.
But that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, but so yeah. But in terms of promoting, I think it's best to really have an understanding of everyone else in the sphere. Be a supporter. We have a Discord. So I don't know how they'll comfortable to be with me promoting it or anything, but we have a server that's run by Urban and Core, and some others, I suppose. I know Urban started it, but it's a server for just anime YouTubers. If you make anime YouTube videos, you can be on that server, and we're all there. At least the people in that kind of a circle of like, some of us are under 1,000, some of us have 50K, some and everywhere in between. And everyone there who makes videos, we want to welcome them on, and it's a community, just for those of us who make videos, because I think there's a better camaraderie. Like people like us three, I think we can talk with each other very candidly and like earnestly, because we all know where we're coming from, right? We know what we're talking, because we've made videos.
When you say us three, you mean us three, or are you talking in the past tense, as in you?
I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, that's talking right now.
Oh, okay.
I just mean like hearing that you guys make videos. It's like, there's a kinship there. There's they know where I'm coming from. Where you make a video, you put something out, you work on it and stuff. There's a kinship to it, and I think that I just love that, and I've gotten more value out of that personally than raw numbers. The videos I've made that have done raw numbers, they're cool. It's a kind of cool fleeting thing personally, but especially the bigger, if a video like blows up, like gets like over 100,000 views and stuff, like people who have gotten videos that big will probably tell you the comments are just, it's not exciting anymore. Like it's fun when you get a comment, right? But when you get a comment on a video you've gotten 5,000 other comments on, it's like, oh. You get numb to it.
Right.
And that's no fun. So I just think in terms of I'm just speaking kind of from the mentality of someone who makes videos and wants to keep making videos, right? I think for longevity's sake, I rather get the approval of people who like make videos, and no offense to people who don't make videos, right, and watch a bunch of anime YouTube content. There are fans like that, and those people are awesome. But that gets me going, is like knowing that people whose content I admire watch my shit, is super gratifying, and kind of what keeps me going. I think the real thing with promotion, right, is for the sake of keeping it going, because you want to keep making videos because it's fun. And I think that's a real key way of promoting it, is to keep a healthy positive mindset for yourself. So that's kind of why I keep coming back to that, and not so much of the like the helpful SEO things. There are the other collab that I did, that I channel shout out, just to circle back around. The other channel shout out I can remember is Unique Namosaurus saw an update video that I made. it was just it's still on my channel, and it was after my Berserk video. And I hadn't made a video in a couple of months because I was working on this next big video, which was my how to anime video, which is one of my favorite videos. And I was working on it for a long time, so I felt really guilty. So I made this update video. But instead of just like a voiceover, blase, whatever people do, right? I made it kind of aesthetic looking and kind of like comfy, right? And kind of cool looking. And he commented, I'll never forget it. He commented on that video. I didn't know he knew me. And he commented on that video. He's like, holy shit, you're just going to put like this much effort into an update video? And so we ended up DMing, and I became an editor of his for 2 of his videos. One of which is the Harry Potter video that he did with Avada Kedavra's A Stupid Fucking Spell. That got 1 million views, which is really cool. And at the end of that video, he's like, what do you want me to, I'll shout you out and everything. And I'm like, could you shout out this video, the How to Anime video? Because at the time, it was at like 5,000 views, and I was really, really crushed by its performance because I really love that video. And so he's like, yeah, sure. And when he did that, my video, that How to Anime video, is now at 42,000 views. It's the second popular video on my channel now, which I'm really happy about. So that's another success story.
Congratulations.
So, I agree. Shoutouts are very, very helpful. And I'm also happy that Nux does it too. Nux is, because of the people that Nux gets to edit his videos, specifically Jack is Boy, Core, and Evan sometimes. He's like in with us in this group of us. We're just like, the numbers, they're like in the thousands. We're not like, super huge channels, but he keeps like using our references and pictures of Evan and shit. It's so funny to see like a 1 million subscriber YouTuber that gets so many views and everything, just using it, and the way they edit the videos. It's so funny. He's a really chill guy, Nux, too. It's really nice that he's so open and responsive to the, in with the community like we prefer, it's nice.
All right, and I think that this is a good time to Lamp. We have a lot of backup on questions and topips, so let's go.
Yeah, so
no, seriously, we've never had this many people before to come at the same time. I'm like, thank everybody.
Yes, thank everyone for leaving comments. Sorry, we're trying to get to it. We promise. We're gonna.
We normally don't get this many. 16's big for us.
Okay, let me go back to kind of a while. So that was okay. Yes, Gamboli is a normie pretending to be an elitist. That was one of the comments.
That was one of the channels that nobody knew who that was, and it was Urban that found his Evangelion video. He put out this really spicy Evangelion take, and then we all saw it. We're like, what the fuck is this? And then I kind of blew it open a little more with like having this really hot take on Scambolian shit, which he apparently saw, and he's never talked to me. I've never talked to the man. It's very awkward.
I'm sure it's fine.
But
don't worry.
It was up until that point, he was one of those channels, which was really interesting. And then we kind of roped him in once we found him. Right, we shared it amongst ourselves. Anyway, sorry, go on.
And then the comment of Berserk 97 slaps though, followed by the less said about the new Berserk the better.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
It's like let's see, and there's also, I'm kind of excited to see animators possibly using Unreal Engine 5 to improve animation and expand possibilities. Canapa Effect was talking about it on Twitter earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
another guy.
That's gonna be
I'm
great.
very happy he makes videos. I'm so happy because I mean he's actually in the he's working in the industry, not like making anime, right? But he's really reporting on it. He's in Japan, really getting the right sources, and he has this great series called Anime Mythbusters where he literally just like debunks a lot of common sentiments.
That was a really great series he started. I'm glad he did. I got a lot of information. I had no idea about the whole, the sentiment of anime is there to promote the manga for the longest ass time. That's what I knew, and that's what I went with. And now we know the truth.
Definitely.
Speaking of, do most anime fans hate it when their manga never got a different one, an anime series? A lot of people blame popular series, even though it has the the most popular new ones other than manga.
I did make sort of a tweet about this the other day, but it got a little hot water because I was saying like usually the second season sucks, but everyone replied like, no, this show. But I was more talking about like what sucks is like a lot of people beg for a season 2 or a season 3 of a show, and it's usually like years after that show came out. And if they were to do it again, it would most likely be a very different staff, and more often than not, when that happens, it kind of doesn't turn out well.
Very few times that actually happens. Like Hunter x Hunter got its reboot.
Well, that's a reboot, right? That's not like not like a second season necessarily. But Chihaya Furu is an exception. That happened after years after the second season came out, and that was of equal quality. But I think that might be because it's the same staff. Usually it's just because there's a difference in staff. But like, you can think of a lot of Trainwreck season 2s, right? Like One Punch Man season 2.
I wouldn't say
I've heard.
I'm going to defend One Punch Man season 2 because the writing was still there.
I mean, yeah, it was an adaptation. So.
Oh yeah,
and then
I'll be dumb.
You can say the exact same thing about Berserk 16 and 17, because those shows, they also adapted his manga fairly faithfully, like pretty to the nines. It just wasn't that impressive on a visual standpoint, which is very similar to One Punch Man season 2.
I don't think anything was going. I think
no, but it's weird. It's like find other cool shows. Don't be so hung up on, oh, but I really like this show. I want more of it. Because it's like, yeah, I want more episodes of Doremi, but there's already over 200 episodes of it. I still want more episodes, but I'm gonna be happy with what I got, right? So, and then find the next cool thing is my sentiment to that.
That's a fair sentiment.
I was just gonna say, like, no one expected One Punch Man season 2 to be like,
no, poor thing. Oh, poor thing.
Anyway, continue, Lamp.
Let's see. What's your anime is becoming more mainstream? I'm glad Promare got so many screenings. What's your thoughts on the cartoon community? Is it way bigger than the anime community because it has a bunch of popular cartoon reviews or reviewers?
I think that the anime community could take a lot from the cartoon community model. I mean, yeah. Like,
and then the cartoon model can take a lot from anime.
Okay, yes.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
And then I think Hensu Party said at some point, "Lol, Digi is listening with me."
Yeah, cool.
So
I wanted to be as fair as possible, right? Because it's like, I think he knows it. I think he, I remember seeing a tweet that he made a couple weeks ago now, where he's like, he said something hot about Final Fantasy VII, and somebody commented like, "Why do you do this to yourself?" And he's like, "It's so fun to just say the hottest shit," and it's like, yeah, fair. Although it can have its rippling effects, like similar. Yes. I mean, who can forget the ever perennial classic of me shitting on anime YouTubers for 30 minutes? Oh God, what have I done? I remember when that video came out. I woke up and I was like, I was so giddy. I was smiling from ear to ear because I do like that stuff too. I do like me some tea. And God, that was some of the best tea I've ever drank in my life.
Who doesn't like the fucking tea?
God, the tea was so good that day. Oh man, but I think he has plenty. He has a lot of self-awareness, and I do respect him a lot. And I am happy that he also watches Digest and stuff like that. That was surreal and really, really cool. Anyway,
personally, I don't like labels. I'm an individual doing my own thing and don't care much about being part of the quote-unquote AniTube community. With that said, I've grown to like a lot of AniTubers, and exceptionally, I fit the definition as an AniTuber myself. I don't really mind if people classify me as one.
Yeah, and I think that was where Necro was coming from too, where he's like, I don't want to be like lumped in with these guys. And I can take that personally because it's like, what's wrong with these guys?
These guys.
What's up? But I get that because you don't want to be misjudged. You want to be judged for your content, and and you, and not like what you might represent.
Like, you don't want to be seen as the guy that's like, this is Digibro, but with boobs. Oh, this is just Gigu, but they're British.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone wants that. Not the very specific ones you mentioned, but in general, I'm just like, this is this guy. I mean, I do get a little happy when someone. I think I saw one comment that was like, "Oh, you and Super Eye Patch Wolf should have a fight or something." I don't know.
Fight.
No,
Oh,
right?
no.
I was like, no, but no, I definitely get that for sure. So in that case, it really needs to you kind of just needs to speak for itself, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. So someone spin says AniTubers are awesome. Cora and Jackie's boy have been really kind to helping make better content. Digibro did have a nitpicky phase, or like with the Shinsekai Yuri, but I'm glad it's over that.
Yeah, I did not like that video, but that was more on Devu's end for me. I did not like how that video was edited and kind of manipulated the footage to look like you were putting clown makeup on the video. I personally really detest that. But I shouldn't say I hated Shinsekai Yuri, but I was not a fan of it either. But I do get Digi being a little caustic in that video. It's very similar to his it reminded me of his Sword of the Stranger video where he was like I think there's points where he was just being really mean where he's like, yeah, but you don't have to word it like that. Oh, it's already dead, but I get the catharsis in doing something like that, especially if you have like a thing against it for sure. Especially when a show like Shinsekai Yori it has a pretty favorable reception in the community, so I get wanting to tear it to shreds a bit. So I get where he's coming from, but I mean that video for me, yeah, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
And then I have a question. I want to get my friend into anime. He's into space robots. What show should I recommend to him? And also see, like, hold on. What show should I recommend to him? And also see like Shy when it comes to mysteries. So basically, what show to recommend if someone likes robot anime?
Yeah, like yeah. Well, I always ask what they've seen, right? And because I don't want to recommend. The thing I don't want to do is just like recommend a really like
popular one.
Like Bebop, right? It's like
Bebop's like
maybe
when was Bebop about robots?
I know. I didn't watch it for kind of a while. Right. So it usually I kind of want to get a feel of like what they have seen, but like off the top of my head, Ideon is amazing. It's one of my favorites. Robots in space in particular, I would say Gundam Thunderbolt is really cool as an experience.
I'm very newbie to robot shows because I'm also not that much into robots, but
yeah, I mean it's not robots, but it's space. You can't go wrong with a little Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah,
but,
some good old space opera.
But I get that's kind of a oof. Yamato's good though. I get that Yamato's not as long and it's newer. It's based on a retro property. 2199 is the new series of that. That's only 26 episodes and it's pretty good. I really did enjoy that. Over the old season, I did watch the original and it's not as good for me personally. But I really like 2199.
So
Terra A is good.
Hmm.
Terra A is okay. I think it was pretty alright. I mean, that's the thing, right? I want to just go Evangelion.
Is Evangelion's the best anime?
I've been avoiding.
Right.
I've been avoiding that.
Yeah. Well, also someone says Eureka 7, Vision of Escaflowne, Macross Plus, Getter, Robo Armageddon, and War in the Pocket.
Armageddon's really good. I don't know why I didn't think of that.
I'm kind of mad with the whole art. I'm kind of mad with the whole Macross franchise right now because it's starting to dive into shoujo bait territory where like now we're seeing a lot of male idols kind of swimming on the girls, and the newer season of Macross in terms of at least in manga form is going to be a boy band and it's going to be like shonen and it's going to be interesting, but like at the same time like no.
That is interesting. I have only seen the original. I love the original.
Yusha apparently.
Well, it's like but it's like the original had shoujo elements. Like Minmei's cute. Like that's not like a super boyish thing, right? Macro Plus is really good too. I need to see 7. I really want to see 7. 7 looks like a lot of fun. Oh god, fucking Hakuge Densetsu is another space related thing, but it's different. It's kind of more of a personal fave for me.
And Yusha, whatever the Yusha is.
Wait, what?
Yusha? Don't forget, apparently Yusha is on there too. It's a Super Robot series.
I don't know.
Yuusha.
That's just Hero and Jeff. That's a very generic title.
Yeah, just so there's Gundam: The Origin, Gundam 0079, Giant Robo: The Animation OVA, and Gunbuster OVA.
Just Yusha?
Yusha apparently was.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a lot of ones that have Yusha in the title. I don't know if there's one just called Yusha. That's interesting.
Not showing myself on that one.
Yeah, there's a couple mecha. Yeah, there's a Brave series that has like Yusha at the. Anyway, there's a couple for you.
And Gao Gaigar.
Yeah, that's a super robot. I don't know. Like again, when it comes to robot stuff, you really want to ask the person. It's like, I mean, are you more into the real robot stuff, or are you into the super robot stuff?
Isn't Galgun thing the one about shooting hormones into girls at a school? Oh wait, no.
That's different. That's a thing. That's a thing, but
yeah. But it's like if it was just general mecha. I mean, Pat Labor is one of my favorite.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah, Pat Labor.
I can't think of my I think my top 5 are Armageddon, Ideon, Ava, Thunderbolt, Pat Labor. I want to say it's those 5. And Escaflowne is really good too. Anyway, yeah, we're kind of circular about that.
Sorry, yeah.
Keep going keep going with the comments.
Actually no, that's a good point. Gurren Lagann, that is also a mecha anime.
Yes, and it's the subject of my very long 2-hour video, and that could have been the first thing that came to my mind, but that's another one where it's like Bebop, or it's like you haven't seen Gurren Lagann yet, really?
I mean, some people might not have seen it. You never know.
That's what I mean, right? And then it's like, okay, so what ballpark am I working in? What did you see? Is where I would come from.
Right. That's a fair statement. Gao Gaigar is part of Yusha.
Oh, it's one of the Braves? Okay.
And Listeners is the Listeners is a new music-based anime.
Yeah. I've not heard good things about that one.
I haven't gotten around to it, so I have no opinion.
You can't say mecha is dead if there are mecha coming out.
Yeah, there you go.
That video was so baffling. Like, we couldn't even finish it. Me and my friend at the time, we were watching it together. It was so baffling because he was just dismissing. It was just a video where it's like mecha's dead except these. But I'm not going to count these because X and Y reason. He just dismisses every mecha that came out in the past couple of years for whatever arbitrary reason. It's like, why?
I don't like them.
Yeah, I think one of them. I think his thing with Darling in the Franxx was, yeah, but it needs to be good. Like, fuck you! Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Ooh, like, this anime is subpar.
Oh, for fuck's sake! It's so bad. Not good.
Apparently, some Whimsy Deer said I haven't seen Gurren Lagann yet, so I guess you can revoke my otaku card.
Yeah. We're past that. As Giga has also made a point about how it's like, back in the day, you had to watch Evangelion and Bebop and XYZ. Now you just have to watch the seasonal anime and you're an anime fan. What's with that? What's seasonal anime?
Okay, but you do not have... Okay, in the same vein as I know I'm probably a heathen for saying this, but I, as a person who watch anime, I watch it so terribly casually that if I probably haven't seen a show that people have already known about for like a month, I'll be like, that exists? So, for me, it doesn't matter if you've seen... It doesn't even matter if you've seen Evangelion at any point or if you haven't. As long as you can find an anime you enjoy mecha, otherwise it's fine. That being said, I'm probably going to get hanged for saying that I don't care if anyone's watched Evangelion. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, I haven't seen Steins Gate.
I'm also that show to me, just to me, was good. Wasn't the
Alright.
best. I
Alright.
enjoyed it. I saw some flaws, but I did enjoy watching it.
I see a flaw there. Is that a flaw? I see.
It didn't stick with me. In the same vein as that,
Yeah.
though, for some ungodly reason, I watched all Lucky Star in one sitting. So I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, it would be like that. I mean, there's plenty. It's very interesting looking at some shows that are like are like very critically well received, like among some circles, right? Like,
Yeah.
certain anime are very praised in for people who have seen it, right? The
Yeah.
people who have actually seen it. But then you watch it and you're like, yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, I mean, and on that way,
those.
it's like it was fine. I can't say it's good. I can't say it's bad. Just okay. And some ones that really should click with you just don't. Sometimes you just really don't know why you don't like the show. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's fine. So
No, and to be fair, Steins Gate to me, maybe I'm seeing it from a lens of maybe it was too slow or maybe it was too like science heavy at sometimes. For me, it lost the flow. That's just me personally. It's a great show. I love the context. I love what they're doing with the idea. But I'm also the kind of guy who watches shows that are like very simple, colorful, and actiony. So it just didn't stick with me. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't speak for it. I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
I'm just a bad taste in life. That's just me.
Nah, yeah, you're fine. I think that, I think that the only people who, I think that it's not. I think we've definitely gone past the point community wise where it's not so much about people having bad taste or not, but it's really kind of like, how are you spreading that taste, right? If you're just kind of being hyperbolic for the sake of it, just to get attention, or you're being it to be a nuisance, right, or contrarian. Like you can totally have your reasons for not liking a certain show, but if you're bashing it because you don't like how popular it is, or or you're just trying to be a thorn in people's side, that's when you're a dick. And I think I think that's it's worse being a dick, and I think it's something we should call out more often than you have bad taste.
Right.
Yeah, that's just me.
Like Jeff with SAO.
God, you'd think that he would give up on that one, but nope. I gave up. I watched season 2 and I was like, yeah, I'm not into it. I did not want to watch Alicization. I don't care how better it gets.
I also got bored with season 1 of SAO, and I just entirely stopped watching at that point, thinking like, oh, that's not for me. I'm pretty sure it's a fine show, but
I'm sure it's great. I'm sure
it was okay to a certain extent, but then again, it reminded me too much of in the non-potential way of Dot Hack, because I watched that entire series when that came out. And I was like, why can't you be more like this? And then I don't know, I just didn't stick. I'm sorry, it just didn't stick.
You see what I mean? Where was I going with that? Fuck.
I don't know.
No, fuck. I was gonna say something earlier about being a dick.
I
forget.
Sorry.
Fuck.
I stopped your thoughts somewhere. I'm sorry. I stole your brain.
Yeah. How dare you give it back?
I don't have one. I want one.
It's mine now. No.
I need brain. I'm not smart.
But man, I wish more people would make AMVs.
Well, the internet's probably on it somewhere.
Oh, right. So like,
what?
Anime YouTube. I remembered the thing where it's like, I just see so many people. It's like all they can do is bash other shows instead of promote the ones that they want, the ones that they like, right? Or just finding the new thing that they would like. It's weird. They have a kind of a fascination by it. ContraPoints actually has a really good video on cringe, where she talks about people who have this fascination for various cringy things, like the Christorians of the people who are obsessed with
Christorians, ha.
right? Who are obsessed with Christian. They have this like morbid fascination with them, and they can say that they have any reasons for doing it, but like it kind of goes beyond the point of fascination. It's not simply like you don't go that far deep. You don't write an entire wiki on the life of this one person just to and then turn around and be like, oh, I was just interested. you know, there's something else to it. There's something a little more sinister and deeper to it.
They just want to be really thorough, okay?
Yeah, and it's like, why would you a giant video about how much you hate this show, right? It's like, why not just, or like a giant Twitter thread on a rampage on like how much you hate this fucking show. Don't shut up. Shut up. Don't say anything. When I finish a show that I don't think is very good, I'm not going to say shit about it. I'm not going to make a video on it. I'm not going to mention it. I'm not going to try to dig it, because what would be the point of that? I'm not going to convince the fans to convince them of my argument, right? And spend my time on the thing that I didn't like to really articulate why I didn't like it, so I can really convince these people that they shouldn't like it either. It's stupid, personally.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Unless you really want to drive home the point that A, you are a critic, and B, you want to be known for a critic, then okay, fine, spend a thesis on this anime that you don't like. But most people who don't like something will not watch it.
Here's the thing, right? Critics move on.
Yeah.
You think Roger Ebert spent upwards of 20 hours writing a fucking thesis of why he hates a particular movie? No, he wrote like a couple paragraphs. His review of his thing is like, this was crap, and it's very. Watch it again. He's not gonna analyze it. He's just gonna move on. Same thing with Sucks. Same with these other review channels, right? They're not gonna have this morbid obsession and keep talking about how bad this thing is. It's obsessive and dumb and weird, and so it's like, you really just gotta what you should focus on is the stuff that you like, because if you have the patience to talk about the thing that you don't like for that long, imagine how much positive, like how much you could recommend this favorite show of yours. Like, can you imagine how farther spread Legend of the Galactic Heroes could have been by Anime Snob if he didn't spend his time taking down chibi reviews or for Neverworld or these random ass people on Reddit about why this shonen is so good but it's actually crap. How much better could his time could have been spent analyzing Legend of the Galactic Heroes and promoting it and showing why it's great? Because the only thing that's happening now is that people are watching it and be like, oh, it's boring. And they're not like really going. It sucks.
Whimsy Dearest has a good point. Inflammatory videos and popular shows get clicks. Pedro admitted almost as much with her Goblin Slayer apology video.
I mean, yeah, definitely. And that's the kind of the transparent thing, right? And that's people's MO. That's certainly been at the Sage's MO for the most part. Like, that's how he got his name out there, was shitting on these various shows. In a way, I think Kenny Lauderdale's been doing a much better, kind of more even-handed job of mixing it with taking a giant dump on these random fucking OVAs and movies and like series that no one fucking cares about, versus recommending these other hidden gems and really good classics, like turning a lot of people onto Cypher, like really promoting it as a really cool thing. I love that OVA, and he's really done a great job serving and promoting it. And so that, like, he has a bunch of followers on Twitter. He retweeted the recent Laserdisc. Like, somebody found the Laserdisc and got the copy of it, and it's in much better quality. We've never had Cypher the video in this level of quality before, and it's awesome. And it was connected to a server that I joined, and then it kind of blew up a little bit and got more interest because Kenny retweeted it and promoted it. So that's promoting and championing good shit instead of wallowing in how bad something is.
It's promoting good shit, not shitting on shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Also, Laserdisc, man, that was actually what I had growing up.
Dude.
Yeah, those were freaking huge.
Jeff, stay away from that horse.
Put the stick down.
Dude, he made a thumbnail with it. He really did. He's like, why are we ADSAO? And it's a pic. The thumbnail is him beating a dead horse. Good lord.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but that's kind of my thing with it, right? I guess that, yeah.
Kenny
Promotion.
Lauderdale is Lost Media anime man.
Yeah.
Could shows where the characters themselves are robots / mechs be sort of considered mecha as long then or at least mech adjacent? Think Ghost in the Shell.
Kind of whatever. I've seen some arguments about that, but I think it's like, I mean, it's similar pedantic arguments as like, oh, it's shown in a genre, and oh, it's a demographic. But it's like, if I say this show is a shonen, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think it's a colloquial term. You know what I mean? And so I hate to strawman it like that, but
no, that's not entirely wrong.
Yeah, I just mean in terms of steering away from the original argument, which is robots and mecha being considered, or Ghost of the Shell.
I mean, I personally subscribe as mecha being the if you're not in a robot and basically launching missiles in space or throwing galaxies, then I don't think it counts as mecha right now.
Bruh.
A Gurren Lagann.
I mean, at least get a robo counts then, because they yeah. No, but like you still have Giant Robo. Giant Robo's really good.
Yeah.
Very well respected. Shit like that. Getting the robot Shinji.
Talking about mecha snob put me on Zenga Pain. No one talks
Yeah.
about that show.
That's what I mean. He was really good at because he watched a bunch of shit. And the stuff that he would talk about, because like he was super prolific on Hummingbird. That's how I found him, and his reviews were everywhere. And so you'd see him all the time, and then you saw how critical he was of these really popular shows. Like, whoa, he was always the dissenting opinion, and so then people get curious about him as a creator, as a critic. So it's like, oh, what does he like? What does he think is really good if he thinks these other ones are so bad? And that's part of I think that's one reason why LOGH, kind of got the attention it did. I mean, it was kind of a hidden gem kind of classic in the general community for a while, but I think he was really important in pushing that show. He got me to watch it. Granted, Baka Shift also got me to watch it. His review was really good. Baka Shift got me to watch a lot of shit, actually. He was a really good channel. Oh well.
What about Dragon's Heaven?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what Kenny just recently promoted, and it was really good. I really liked it. I mean, he got store cash. Yeah. But I always have kind of a rule of thumb with it where if he recommends you a show, you should probably watch it. It's probably really good.
Yeah.
If he tells you not to watch a show, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a giant truck of salt.
I mean, even if someone says don't watch this anime, it's really bad. Like even then, I'd still say it's worth watching at least an episode just to see. You know what? Okay, let's try half. It can't be that bad. It's like it might not be.
Yeah, I mean,
I always go with that. Like this anime may be terribly recommended here. It's like I could try this if I hate in the first 5 minutes, and fine. If not, whatever.
I don't normally listen to single people's opinions on something, just because I don't really want to like align their views super closely with mine. Like it's just like, oh yeah, you're just a fucking Fantano stan. Like I am quite the Fantano. I only like albums that he likes. But anyway, but I usually refer to like community perspective, and not just the mouse score. Like when you when you're in with the community, you're talking with people, interacting in general, you do get a vibe of, okay, everyone really likes this show. Everyone really hates this show. This show is pretty divisive. A lot of people who like it really like it. A lot of people who hate it really hate it. And you get the nuances of a lot of different, so like you name any show, and I like to think I have a decent understanding of where the community lies with it, and I think the community is much bigger in general in that way. Sometimes they're wrong. Sometimes they're very wrong. Um, but I think they're a very good rule of thumb to take, personally.
I mean, that's usually pretty. I mean, a good glance at the community is a good start anyway.
For sure. But it is interesting sometimes where you see the original kind of perception of a show get kind of turned over time, as not so much as like, oh, this show is really well regarded, and then over time people started to not like it as much. I don't think you see that as often as you do some of the more retro titles slowly getting a resurgence back, where people are like, no, wait a minute, that was actually kind of good. And the people who were telling us it was bad were just stuck up assholes, or just or didn't like certain things. For example,
Yeah.
pretty common sentiment that Lupin the Third Part 3 was not good, or was the worst part, or just not worth watching out of the Lupin parts.
Yeah.
The reason it seemed was because it had a very different art style that got very, very, very cartoony, and stretchy faces, and it looks really silly, and goofy. And people, and at least fans of Lupin in the day that crafted this initial impression of Part 3, didn't like that, because they like Lupin as the serious, cool wish fulfillment guy, not like the cartoony, zany Looney Tunes kind of Lupin. But if you like that sort of Lupin, it's a really good show. A lot of cartoon fans, a lot of people who are really into like Looney Tunes, and the more like a lot of screen cappers that like, oh, that's a good face, like the shows that emote themselves and express really vividly, like Doremi or any of the Precures or Aikatsu or something like that, where it's very much focused on like the faces and like being with the characters and stuff. Lupin's really good. Part 3 is really good for that, and so it got kind of a bit of a resurgence. Like, no, Part 3 is actually fun. Similar to
I'd argue
Double Zeta as well also had that.
I mean, I'd argue that for the sake of Lupin, even when he gets cartoony, that show kind of straddles the balance between serious and cartoony. Like, that's kind of part of his character.
Yeah, that's certainly an argument. Dude, I got the biggest fucking deja vu. Holy shit. Holy shit. What the? I just... Ooh, I was so much there just now. But yeah, and it's daunting. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun seeing that sort of thing with the community. Seeing certain people kind of push back against common sentiments, especially old OVAs, like God, like a lot of Kawajiri stuff. Like a lot of people would kind of naysay that, and now it got kind of a resurgence. Like, no, it's some dope shit. It's really cool. Stuff like that. Specifically, with like how Bennett the Sage would be the only person on the internet that that talks about this show, or at least as a video. If you look at it on YouTube, he's like the only YouTuber that talks about 8-Man, right? Or this random OVA or something like Sword for Truth or whatever. And so he would end up being the defining voice, and people would trust him with those opinions without having seen the show themselves, and they'll have that person, oh, that show's bad, even though they haven't seen it, right?
Right.
When it's really silly when you think about the fact that they did that in hindsight, since he has really bad takes, actually, and it's like, it's when that happens, when a critic has like bad takes, like bad taste, quote unquote. Usually I don't trust those people with what else they have to say. If they like a show,
Right.
well, maybe I'll take their word for it. But like when they don't like a show, right? then I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Like
I'm not,
if they're
I'm
gonna
not
rip
gonna,
into it,
yeah, I'm not gonna, all right, I'm not really going to listen to you if you genuinely don't like Perfect Blue, or End of Evangelion, or Grave of the Fireflies, or Metropolis. Like, I don't know what to say, man. Those are all really, really good films.
Yeah, I mean, and each person's taste is subjective, and that comes with like, if you
Certainly.
get big enough and you start showing things like, or you start making video like, well, I don't like this show because this, and I have so many. You should listen to me because I have these subscribers. I'm like, okay, but that's still your individual. It's still your opinion, not all of our opinions.
God, I could not. I would not. My mind would probably break in half if I heard someone unironically say, "You should listen to me because I have this many subscribers." Can you imagine the blatant fucking the transparent like egotism?
I
Oh,
mean, they don't say it out loud, but it's
no,
definitely
but
a thing.
yes, they do have an authority. But then I usually kind of take it as like they have to have an authoritative tone because the nature of their videos is persuasive. They're
Yeah.
trying to be persuasive, and when you're trying to be persuasive, you don't want to be wishy washy. You don't want to be like,
Yeah.
that's just my opinion, okay? Right? You remember, guys, don't take it so seriously. You do want to have it with some persuasion and some confidence to make it sound convincing and engaging.
Yeah.
So it ends up coming off that way as very like, oh, you really think you know your shit, when it's like, ugh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I don't
CBR
know.
article about Shield Hero. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the blogs can kind of have that problem too, for sure.
Cleaning off the evidence of JoJo Part 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in a sense of me being a heathen there, I never actually watched a single JoJo episode, but after all the recaps I've seen online, it's not like I don't know what's going to happen in each arc.
Yeah, same with Dragon Ball for me. I haven't seen Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but it's like, yeah, I know who Frieza is.
I know who dies, I know what happens, and I know, okay,
Yeah.
I haven't watched the show, but I get the gist. Like that's basically where I was at JoJo, but I do appreciate all the memes.
Yeah.
So,
but the thing, right? It's very. Some people accidentally do this, right? And I can understand it's easy to do, where you think you get a show because you've heard too much about it, right?
Yeah.
You can probably speak. You can probably talk about JoJo and fake your way through it, being like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about because I've seen so much of it, right? But you haven't
Right.
seen it,
No,
right?
no, yeah.
So, yeah, but you know what I mean. So like, it's some people, it's a really bad move when you try to speak on behalf, speak on this show, like have an opinion about it, but then haven't seen the show itself. I'll admit, I have had that. I've done that to myself sometimes. Like I do make fun. I've been watching Bleach with my roommates, and I make fun of Demon Slayer every time Bleach does a flashback to like a character's origin story, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, if this was Demon Slayer, they're gonna die.
Hey,
like,
it's
guaranteed thing, apparently. Like it almost routinely happens where every time Tanjiro is almost about to kill the demon, they have a tragic backstory and then they get killed.
I mean, in all fairness, who hasn't MST3K'd some anime with their friends, right?
Oh yeah. But it's really fun.
We're all guilty of that.
Yeah, but it's really fun with watching stuff like that with friends. With Bleach, one of my friends, it's me and two others. One of them has already seen Bleach, and the other one is watching it new for the first time with me. Really, really good dynamic. I think that's the best. I think that's the best recommendation I can do. Actually, that's kind of peak group watch thing. Besides, all three of you haven't seen the thing. I guess that would be more like the peak, but one person's rewatched and kind of guiding you through it a little bit, just kind of answering some questions they might have.
Right.
And then you have someone else with you who's experiencing it for the first time, and it's not like super one-sided. Kind of like with Wooly and Super Eye Patch Wolf. Have you seen that series they did?
No.
It's so funny. I think it's called Gone in 5 Minutes, where Super Eye Patch Wolf just takes a camera and films Wooly after they watch an episode of Hunter x Hunter, and like John and like Eye Patch Wolf is like forcing Hunter x Hunter onto Wolf, and Wooly's like, "Ugh, man, so this happened, and then this happened, and why do they have hunters? What even are hunters? It's shit like that, and the dynamic is really funny, but like you can see it's kind of strained a bit. And obviously, it's a joke, right? Obviously, it's
Right.
really funny. But that dynamic is very, very realistic to what could happen, where it's like it's just you and your friend, and your friend has
Right.
the show and you haven't, and then they're just like, look at this, right?
Right. I mean, yeah, I've seen that happen too.
Yeah. But I strongly recommend it with at least one other person that hasn't seen it with you.
I think
It
it's
was
better
too bad.
it's-
It was too bad that me and my friend knew who Aizen was, and like the whole buzz about Aizen, because you have that part where he fakes his death, and we're like, oh, he's dead, and it's like he's not really dead, is he?
I mean, no, and he does come back even hotter. To be fair,
Right, exactly.
Just saying.
Right. So it's like it's hard to. We're being surprised to most of it, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are some things where it's like, oh yeah, this happens, or we're expecting this to happen, sort of deal.
And then someone says Aizen's a fantastic villain. Do we want to comment on the Susie Lou situation?
I don't know what you mean.
So long story short, lady's channel, who I think is now under fire, she would upload full episodes of anime and quote unquote react to them. But basically, it gave people an excuse to watch the episode for free online. And anyone who critiqued her would get basically struck down by her. And
You would like remove the comment.
They would remove the video if they made a video about it. So there was that whole situation, but I think now she's finally under fire. But however, she's possibly leading the third adpocalypse, or at least stricter rules in regards to anime reaction channels. So that is a concern.
I guess.
Yeah, but because if the rules react to her uploading free content, essentially, it might make it harder for anime YouTubers later. But hopefully, it doesn't get that far. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, she's uploading entire episodes.
Oh yeah.
I think it would affect the reaction community. Like, what's his name? DJ Wukong. I am subscribed to him. I do like his reactions sometimes. They are fun. But he doesn't show the episode. He doesn't have. No. He has he has an indicator to show you what point of the episode he's on, but you can't watch the episode from his video.
Right, and I know there's some people that blatantly abuse that and upload the whole episode saying, "Oh, it's commentary." No, it's not just commentary. You're just uploading a full episode and getting away with it. But I hope that doesn't make it stricter. But if it does make it stricter, hopefully that also might make the approach more creative when it comes to reviewing it. I hope that's not the case, but we'll find out. But yeah, that's basically what I followed the drama for a while and I stopped because it's like, okay, well, nothing's happening apparently, so we're gonna wait.
Right.
Like,
well, that's the thing, right? There's no growth. There's no invention to reaction channels.
Right. I mean, there really isn't.
Someone can reinvent it and maybe bring something extra to it. That's something that's interesting.
Yeah, there's transformative and then there's eat funny. It's like, okay, thanks.
Right. That's just exactly. And they can do their own thing, right? But they can do their thing. But
I think I extend that to any reaction YouTuber, not trying to be mean, but if you're just reacting to someone other YouTubers' videos and that's your video, that's not enough.
No,
I'm sorry, it's
agree.
Not enough.
I am subscribed to somebody like that. And it's helpful because they sometimes find videos that I was not aware of. So I will just click on their video just to click to the link of the other person's video.
That's true.
That's all I would do. I wouldn't watch their reaction to it.
That's just funny.
I've never watched one of his videos personally.
That's fair. That's fair.
And also, I think some people do use it. It's really funny. Some people use it as like, oh, this episode of this thing came out, and they just use it as like a calendar, like a fucking notification thing. Like, oh, this episode came out, I'll go watch it, and not watch the reaction person. They'll just use the reaction person as oh, this episode came out. Why?
That's
Because
that's
there's an
fair.
reaction to it.
I mean, that's how videos kind of even reviews are utilitarian, because it's a gateway to say, hey, this exists. Why don't you go watch it? And then it's like you could watch the review, but then you could also use it as a jumping point and say, maybe I should go watch the episode. You know, that's a fair use. It's a very good video.
Yeah. But especially I mean, I haven't seen many mukbang videos, but stuff like that and reaction videos. There's less of a utility to them, and more of it.
Yeah.
And it's more like it's a habit. They like recording and they like making the video. And
watch me consume.
It's a hobby in that way, and not like a they're not really trying to.
I kind of thought mukbang videos were basically about that's the tea. But also while stuffing their face on camera, it's like, I'm not hungry anymore. I'm good. I don't want
food. What if you're hungry and then you're like, I don't want to be hungry anymore. I'll watch a mukbang video. And it's like, yeah, great. I'm not hungry anymore.
That's a good use.
It is a purpose. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Videos have multi-use videos. There you go.
Yeah, it is interesting because it's like there's so many people. It's really like it is a shame that YouTube is turned into in such a way that like a lot of people really do use it as ways to as something to listen to in the background, or like while you're doing, because you don't want to do something in silence,
right?
Or like when you're the transition between, like, you want to go to the bathroom or something, you're like, oh, I'll pull this video up as I go to the bathroom. Occupy yourself, right?
I mean, I'm guilty of
that. Going to make breakfast or lunch or dinner. You're like, I don't want to just stand there waiting for my water to boil while I make this pasta.
I am 100% guilty of all of that. I do that when I get up in the morning and getting ready for work. It's like, oh, I should go to this YouTube video. It's like, I am that way, so I guess I'm.
I mean, yeah, that's why a lot of people upload in like the late hours, like Chris Stuckman uploading his videos super late, so that when you wake up in the morning, you see it's a video, and you're inclined to watch it. Very similar to Last Week Tonight as well. Has a similar. I used to have that upload schedule with Digest. But I just kind of forgot. It wasn't sustainable for me personally. But whatever. But like, yeah, I get where people they do like just listening to it on another tab, right? But that's
I'm usually listening to it while editing videos. Sorry, Shannon, that's actually quite true.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, that's totally fair too.
I am never 100% focused on what I'm doing, but it also helps because if I get burned out so fast that if I don't have a distraction, I get up, do something else, sit back down, and it's like I can't.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in the mood, you're in the mood.
Yeah, it's like I'll still do what I have to do, but I never like to do one thing sitting by itself. I can't. I don't have the attention span to sit there and just do one thing. My brain don't work that way. Even knitting, if I'm knitting, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think that there's plenty of people that are, especially with how our society is now, with so many distractions and constant attention and stuff. It's hard to sit in peace. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Although to be fair, don't watch YouTube and drive. However, Spotify and drive, is perfectly fine.
Or honestly, I'm very hooked on NPR. It's literally the only time I will ever listen to NPR is if I'm in the car. Only time. I will not go out of my way to listen to NPR.
I mean, shout out to Night. If you have listened, NPR, man, it works. Okay, it's not the most interesting sometimes, but it is informative and it is good to listen to sometimes.
Yeah, it really goes one ear out the other, but who cares?
I mean, if you're driving somewhere, you don't drive in silence. Listen to something, at least something in the background that's mildly interesting. That being said, shout out to Night. If you haven't listened to Night Vale, please do so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, man mode. I'm calling myself out too because if I was editing, I would listen to something in the background too. So
it's just a coincidence, man. At least I'm very happy to hear you're editing something. At least you're editing something.
I'll
call you out for that. I'll call you out specifically for that.
I did finish the part 1 of my video way faster than I was telling you last time we were talking a couple days ago.
Ooh.
And I was like, he's like, so when is this gonna finish? I was like, oh, I don't know. I've been making like a minute a day.
I try to aim for like 2 or 3 minutes, like more like sections of video per day.
Yeah.
I don't really aim for like it's not necessarily how long the video is. It's like, okay, this section is done. I can move on to the next one. This is a tangent. I'm sorry, we're getting way off topic. But this is how it.
Yeah. What was the topic? Yeah. So, I mean, we're going more into the comments section and stuff.
But yeah, I edit section by section. I don't care. I'll devote however long, usually to 3 a.m. Editing a video, and then it's like, oh, I can get 4 hours of sleep maybe.
Man, I gotta say, editing and past 12 o'clock, it really does feel like it's productive time. It's like I was put here for a reason.
Well,
I'm still awake. This is the time.
No, you drink coffee until about 8 o'clock, edit till about 2 in the morning, get up, chug coffee again, and repeat. There you go.
Yeah, I actually don't drink coffee. I'm more of a juice person.
I require caffeine.
I got a whole box of juice barrels, and my own.
Yo, Red Bulls, man. I go from coffee to Red Bull back to coffee again. Let me tell you, it works.
Good lord.
And I'm alive somehow.
Yeah.
Until I crash at 3 in the morning, and then maybe get up in time for do things, and then that also means I get up full time. And anyway, lots of the things to do with the workplace and stuff.
Yeah. With this question, with what type of anime-themed videos would you like to see more of, like skits, real play, ASMR, and AMVs? I don't think most of us are talented enough to do skits. To be honest with you, like we're not. I don't think most of us are that funny.
I mean,
we think we're funny, but I mean, if you just think of like the active anime YouTubers right now, there's a couple that are like funny, but they can't. It's even hard for Giga to do skits. Like even
even
the stretch to do skits. The one who has the complete dominance of in that category is for fuck's sake, I forgot their name. It's the guys that did Anime House and fuck, it's like Marcus something. It's like it's a group, but it's like the guys who did it's a transportation circle. Out of me. It's so funny. They're the best. They have complete dominance in that genre. I don't think anyone else can get close to like remotely acceptable. Fucking
that's fair. That's fair.
You know, it's just not good mostly usually. When any of us do skits, it's usually so wooden and like forced. But like AMVs, man, you would be surprised how many of these anime YouTubers who are fucking great editors have not made an AMV.
I think it's because like in general AMVs are good. It's just I think they kind of fell out of popular favor, did they? Because I haven't seen a good one in a long time.
I mean, then you're not watching my channel.
Okay.
AMVs.
I live under a rock, and I'm perfectly happy living under a rock. But at the same time,
you're fair. You're fair. Oh, for fuck's sake, what is this channel? I'm looking through all my descriptions.
Well, I sub to you, so that's I'll watch you later. But I tend to watch a very small selection of YouTube channels if I'm doing and I kind of stick with and then I kind of move from
my
there.
latest one, I can't help but plugging it because it still has like less than 1,000 views, and I love that AMV so much. It's my Belladonna of Sadness AMV. I really like that one. But it was fun making that collab with other people. And several of them had never made an AMV before, and they were killer at it. Like fucking Steven doing an AMV for Running Man. It was sick.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like I would ask RDC World is who I was thinking of. With the skits. They're the fucking kings of skits right now. Only ones who can do it remotely funny. But yeah, like beyond Ghibli, I'm pretty sure he told me he's never made an AMV before. Or like Abby from Cartoon Cypher.
You would think, because he basically makes mini AMVs in his own videos anyway. Like, they're incredibly well edited, but he says he has never technically made an AMV before. It's
The gods must choose you to make an AMV, for then your time will come.
Damn, you must be right.
You only get chosen to make the AMV. You do not choose to make it. It happens.
An AMV makes you. But it's like, can you imagine what a Scamboli AMV would look like? That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see if they can, though, for sure.
Really mean, right? And some of these guys are so fucking talented.
Try
Super
Disco
iPad
Ballad.
making an AMV, dude.
Try Disco Ballad. Their edits are god tier, and they do JoJo themed AMVs. AMV Yoda. Someone else says.
Hey, I will admit, as much as I stan AMVs, I don't like. I'm not subscribed to too many like AMV makers. Just because I don't know. It just feels like they've made so many and they make them so routinely. It doesn't feel like a special thing.
Yeah.
It feels like they kind of make them very similarly. There's not as much experimentation or like really pushing boundaries like fucking Gillies here. Oh my god, his fucking shit is so cool.
I think AMVs have they're an art form by itself, but like, yeah, if you overdo AMVs, you start to lose a sense of like whimsical artness, and then becomes like, well, let's just make this another AMV again, use this footage. It's like I think there's a certain balance to it, but you really have to give it time to age well before it becomes a good one.
It needs to be like a really careful selection and like really challenge yourself. These people aren't challenging themselves. They're making these AMVs out of the shows that are airing right now. There's like one episode of it out, and they're just doing it to the latest fucking pop track that has nothing to do thematically or sonically with what they were editing with. They're just plugging and playing. It seems to me. You know, I'm sorry if I'm generalizing in a whole community and shit, but it just seems there doesn't seem to be as much, you know, like, whoa, what the fuck, you know?
Actually, that's a good point. Whimsy Dearest says part of the issue with AMVs is that you get copy striked or copyright claimed.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna get copyright claimed if you use the whole song, which is part of making the AMV. But you almost never. It's very, very, very rare that you'll get a copyright strike or get your video taken down for a song. There are a few cases. I'm from firsthand experience. Don't use any AC/DC. They will take it down. Doesn't matter. I didn't get a strike, thank God.
But it's just down.
Yeah, it just physically would not. They took mine down off of fucking Twitter.
Oh.
Like they went in a very quickly too. Like once they found, they're like, yeah, no. But no, I totally get it with copyright stuff. But the song usually you're just gonna get claimed. And in that case, like impossible to monetize your content. Yeah. Which I guess when people have a prerogative towards. My channel's not even fucking monetized. I don't give a shit. I'm using fucking Smashing Pumpkins and My Chemical Romance and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard songs in like my essay videos now because I just don't give a shit. Only thing that I give a shit about is the video just being blocked. Or if I get a strike, then I'll be more careful or something.
Right.
Usually only video stuff that you'll get struck for, but like only thing I've had happen to me is stuff gets blocked worldwide. And that
that sucks.
That happens when either the company manually takes it down, like they physically do it, like instead of they're using an automated system. And that happened with 2 of my Joe videos. TMS took them down, but what was weird was they didn't take down the hour and 48-minute Megalobox video.
What?
the very, very big one that definitely references all 3. It was weird. But they blocked worldwide 2 of them. Didn't get any strikes.
Yeah. Still sucks though.
Oh, it does absolutely because it's gone from the channel and you know all those comments are gone too. Technically, the comments I don't know if the comments are gone, but it's just like it's just not on the channel anymore. I still have them, thank God, right?
No, for sure.
But Yeah, that's what I'm only concerned about. And then like I couldn't make the whole. When I first envisioned the collab with the AMV collab, I was envisioning it as one video, and I have it stitched as one video. And but like when I uploaded just that, they obviously claimed all 13 of the songs on the album because it's
Ooh,
played in full,
ooh.
right? Duh. But then they block it worldwide because it's like you're just uploading the whole album.
That's
They're not wrong.
okay. Yeah. It
I
still sucks, but
suspected it.
yeah.
Right. So we ended up uploading it onto our different channels. Or I have a couple of theirs that some people didn't want to put on their channel or whatever. I have
Right.
the rest of them unlisted. So I have the rest of them
Ah.
like on in a playlist that you can see on my channel.
Ah.
And
So you can
at the end of that playlist is the full video that's stitched together and everything, but it's just a commentary track. It's like me talking over it.
ah.
So it goes all the way through.
That's fair.
Yeah, Twitter. It's especially sucks what happened when Twitter when you get hit with a Twitter one. It's happened to me again, pretty recently with Onisima A. I did an AMV with an Avril Lavigne song, and I guess that label took it down or something.
Wouldn't it
Shit
be
like that.
it wouldn't have been a bot that scanned, or would that just been like person?
Well, I'm pretty sure it was a person because that video was up for like 5 months before it got taken down.
Oh yeah, that's a person.
Yeah, they just saw it. So I was like, oh.
Because usually it's a bot that, like, I mean, okay, for YouTube, I would imagine it's a bot. For Twitter, yeah, it's probably a person, but I think I've seen a fair share of times, like, things on Twitter are reported in mass, just way too fast for it to be a person. And, I mean, to be fair, they have bots scanning everything anyway, so it's not like it matters.
Exactly. So so to me it's like if I'm gonna get hit anyway. So
I mean, at that point, it sounds like you have been detected using bad music, and then at some point, just kind of like, yeah, fine, just take it.
Ooh, Kaiser Beams just put out a Cagliostro video. Cool. Not sure if I'll click on it. Kind of, it's like a 30-minute video on a
Oh, jeez.
anime. It's like, yeah, I've heard plenty about it. It's like, I don't know. Kaiser's videos are a little vanilla for me. They're fine.
But yeah, that's really my thoughts on the whole AMV thing. We really got off topic, huh? About the AniTubers.
We're just going off of the comments and shit.
I miss the old days of every time we touch or Naruto Linkin Park AMVs.
I mean, yeah.
I feel that.
No
I
reason to
feel
take
that.
it back.
Man, those were my jam. Especially every time we touched them. That wasn't everything.
Hell yeah. I've described my taste as, in terms of AMVs, my taste is like really retro, classic shit that nobody would make an AMV out of, to the most generic, obvious, fucking cliche fucking songs for AMVs.
Yo, Dota? Come on, Base Hunter, that's a huge one. Or Nightcore? I've seen a lot of those, like, with the weird Nightcore, which is good. A lot of conventions I've been to, they played that at several of the showings. I'm like, I love these things. You could watch it as a whole room. It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
God, I haven't been to a convention in a long time.
I feel like that.
I feel poor, but also old. Also, sorry, Shannen. I know we've been kind of not having you speak.
Well, it's just, you've been willing to pipe up anytime, but it's just seemed kind of.
So I don't mean to take over here.
Fine. So. Do whatevs.
A lot of Russian music AMVs for Princess Tutu and Ergo Proxy for some reason. Huh.
Yeah, I do like me some Tutu. I'm not sure if she's there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she had to go to get something. Then there's of course, Hard the Boss. Russian Hard the Boss is good by itself. I don't care what that's labeled with. I have a whole Spotify channel with just Hard Boss. Russian music.
Yeah.
I think Yeah, I think Shannen just had to step away for a while. I'm sure she's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, she probably.
she hadn't talked for a while. I think since like remember
I'm sure.
I think starting with the mecha conversation.
Yeah, I think we kind of took over from there. Hold on.
Like
Maybe
she didn't say anything during the mecha thing, and then just hasn't said anything since then.
Well, when she'll eventually come back.
Yeah, it'd be like that.
Let's see. Well, at this point, actually, I'm trying to think of what Shannon would talk about next. Ooh. I was trying to think of what she usually she would say, "Hey, what else would you like to talk about for your own work, and how would you like to talk about your own channel?" So, if there's anything else you want to talk about for your own stuff,
I was sort of thinking that. Well, I will say to people who are in this chat will know first, before my patrons, like normal, like always, but I fucking blabbermouth my fucking people before I tell my patrons. So my patrons got the first chunk of my Gurren Lagann video, which I mentioned is probably going to crack 2 hours in total.
oh wow,
yeah, it's big.
Jeez, that's big.
So,
yeah.
So this first part is it's very evenly divided into 5 sections. So this first part is out and it's available for patrons. But I'm not really sure. I don't really want to release it publicly until the rest of it's done. Because my initial vision was to have it one big video, because I like that. But I mean, it would be really good for my analytics and shit, because it's a Gurren Lagann video. It would get me some views, I would imagine. But I don't really give a shit about analytics, right? I just want to make cool shit, right?
Right. No, that's fair.
I'm very satisfied with the audience that I have. I don't really want it, because I've seen what, like, if you get any bigger, or you start to not be as in tune with the community you have. I think you have a lot
that's fair.
naysayers. You just have a lot more pressure. It just doesn't seem worth it. I've seen people who blow up and stuff, and like it just does not seem all that cracked up to be. I like the amount. I like the attention I have. It's not nothing, right?
Yeah, but you don't want too much at the same time, then you lose the point of doing what you want to for fun. Like, you have people who want to watch it versus people who like flock to it thinking, "Oh, this guy's popular." It's like, I'd rather have people who actually enjoy this thing.
Oh, for sure. It's like I care about who watches me, not how many.
Yeah, that's a fair statement.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of doing my thing. So I don't really care so much if it's not the smart YouTube thing to do to make a 2-hour video, instead of just releasing it in parts. Kind of like what what's his name? He made the he was making Full Metal Alchemist low. Oh shit, Lowart?
Huh?
Is it Lowart? I think it's Lowart. He was making multi-part, Full Metal Alchemist manga versus anime versus Brotherhood comparisons.
Oh wow!
Like multiple parts, right? So, and those would be big videos and stuff. If I was doing that, I'd make that one stupid big video, which is stupid. He did the smart thing, and as well as also making multi-part Teen Titans retrospectives, and of course that got super popular. So he ended up getting a lot of subscribers and views really quickly, but then it seemed like he kind of stopped. Like he was very active to a point, and then he's gotten kind of inactive recently. His last video was, oh yeah, it's fine, it's 3 weeks ago. You know what I mean?
But then
he's kind of aimless now that he's not talking about. Now that he's run out of his series and stuff, he's kind of like, yeah, he was on a 4-month drought for a while, and then came back with a FMA video, and then was kind of making kind of whatever now.
No, that's fair. I mean, after a while, you really, after you lose a bit of like your aim, it's like, well, what do I do now? I could talk about the same theme, or I could find something else. But within anime, not saying that's uncreative, but there is a certain amount of plateauing that can happen with an anime discussion.
Yeah. But so
I don't want my channel to just be nothing because
Right,
while I'm working on
right.
this big video. So I'm trying to release kind of a little monthly or bi-monthly, not bi-monthly, but like 2 videos ish a month. Like try to make an AMV, try to put out one AMV a month, and then one kind of short video that's like still kind of interesting, not like a throwaway thing that I still care about making, but not like stupid big, right?
Right, no.
So I just edited something today. I recorded it a couple days ago, and I've been wanting to make it technically since like August.
Ooh.
When I found this particular movie that is out now in Japan, but it's an independent film that it's very unlikely we'll get it in the West, just because it doesn't have any mainstream studio or talent or promotion behind it. It's very independent. Like
Hmm.
it was pretty much made by one guy.
Oh, wow.
Almost. Like he hired a couple amateur animators, but it's pretty much his passion project. He's like
No, that's fair.
the director, screenwriter, editor, and
Right,
art
no.
director, and mostly
Yeah.
key animator, whatever. He's it's mostly just him, and it took him
Right.
7 years to make this movie.
7 years.
Yeah, 40,000 drawings,
Ooh, okay.
and the reason it's so many drawings is because pretty much the entire film is rotoscope.
Oh, God.
Meaning he filmed it in live action first. He actually went so far as at one point
Oh.
the climax of the film is a concert. It's a concert scene, and
Uh-huh.
he had an actual concert with people there, and
Okay.
and he had like 10 cameras and a drone filming the whole thing, and then he
Oh.
drew over it.
Oh my God.
And it's gorgeous. It's incredible.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's so cool, and nobody is talking about it. Nobody. And it does have a trailer that is subbed on YouTube. It's called Ongaku Our Sound. I'll type it in chat. But I'm putting out a video hopefully tomorrow or the next day about this film because I was just fucking obsessed with it when I saw the trailer back in August. I could not stop watching it. And I followed the Twitter and I bought the manga that it's based on. Like I bought a digital copy of it, which is not translated. Oh. Damn.
Wait. So it's a manga, but it's a manga, but he made into a movie.
He adapted it. He adapted the manga into a film. 71-minute film.
Dang.
And the manga is only 112 pages. It's like a one shot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's quite the adaptation.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so he kind of adds some stuff to it, I'd imagine, but I can see where I can see that the general pace of the movie and stuff and kind of like where you could add some stuff here and there, but it looks really great. It looks so wholesome and earnest and shit. Like the way that some of the dialogue in the trailers that was subtitled, it's just so it's like without music I'm nobody, or we like doing it because it's fun, and like it's shit like that. It's like, oh man, and it's like super earnest and shit. And it actually won the top prize at the Ottawa Animation International Film Festival.
Ooh.
So it's got clout. It got some clout.
Ooh, all right.
And I would hope it has a chance to kind of come over here, right? Because it's an anime, and G Kids was kind of doing a little more with distributing and kind of getting some films over here. I mean, with this pandemic, everything now.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Although even there, it's kind of interesting because a lot of the theaters that Ongaku was supposed to play at, were independent theaters, were very small chain kind of theaters, because they were independent film, and they were in trouble of going bankrupt or kind of going out of business because of the pandemic.
Oh.
I was following the Twitter account, and they were part of a campaign to save the cinema, where they were selling merch, and really getting people to kind of donate to help keep these theaters afloat while this crisis is going on. It seems like they kind of weathered it a fair deal because it seems to have been. They seem to be opening it back up a little bit in Japan. I'm not sure how safe that is, but um, they seem to be doing a little bit better than they were a couple weeks ago or months ago. Um, yeah,
Right.
but yeah, so like I love this fucking movie without even having fucking seen it.
I'm gonna have to check it out now because that sounds like a really cool
Oh,
concept and
yeah, wait till you like just see it. It's like
just
what?
sheer,
Yeah,
just sheer amount of work that went into it.
absolutely. And there's a really really good TV special or just kind of like an interview they did with the creator that I got a lot of my information from that I'll link it. See if I can link that too. But that's gonna be in the description of the video as well.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
and it's dubbed. It's at the actual
Oh.
the actual special was actually like had like an overdub to it. Yeah,
Wow.
it's still active. So it's sick, yeah.
All right then.
It's the whole thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can try calling Shannen real quick. Otherwise, everyone who's watching, if the stream does have to end and Shannen doesn't properly turn off the streaming software, we may just have to say
I'm right here.
good night.
Whoa!
Oh, okay, I couldn't. It's like, where'd you go?
Oh, sorry. I've been trying to like add to more of the conversation, but Shaybs been going on so well, so I kind of just been
Okay, I was making sure. I was like, you okay?
I was just gonna say that like there's the other method before we had because I didn't realize the time. One other method that I would think about with when it came to is promoting AniTube is I think that AniTube should try investing money in like advertising. I mean, there's still this stigma of just using money to like Google ads or stuff. And I think that's kind of like a bad take on it. I think that's a good way. I'm thinking about doing that with this channel and then just like professionally hiring someone who knows how to do this for me in terms of natural growth of the channel. I think there's no harm in it.
Well, definitely. I think there's, and this is something that Necro also touched upon, and why he didn't want to be lumped in with anime YouTubers. A lot of people have this idea that people just want to be anime YouTubers just to get like promotions and just to get money and just to whatever, and they see it as lesser or something, and it's not good because it's like we want to do this for a living because it's something we like doing, and we would like to do the things that we like doing for a job, in some ways. Me personally, I see what it takes to do that, right? And Digi's also talked about this too, where he talks about like, this is how you make a video that will probably get a lot of views. Just put SAO in the thumbnail or title or whatever, and he said how like he knows how to play the game, he just doesn't want to. It's just so soulless, and it's detrimental to your own content, and I think you're going to like burn out, like if you really pursue that in the way that would be the technical best way to do it. But I do really but I totally support getting fundraisers and getting sponsorships and having a Patreon and
No, not like that. Like I'm talking about, say like you would pay money to advertise like professionally, like like the growing community on Fiverr and stuff like that. And
oh yeah, okay. But no, totally. And I think it's really kind of a matter of to what end you want to do. It's like, I want to just have the voice out because I think what I'm providing is really beneficial to the community as a whole. Where it's like, cause if whatever your content is beneficial and additive, you want more people to see that. So I totally understand the position of that. It stinks that a lot of people have like this thing against the corporations, because it's like the corporations, as like love them or hate them, they are the reason why that anime has gotten to where it is. And I usually take it as I'm sorry if this is kind of a little off topic, but it's like,
No, that's fine.
with Crunchyroll, people are mad about them or for whatever fucking reason, and they want to be like they want to be uppity about like, oh, they used to be a pirate site, blah blah. The thing with it is, I'm very grateful for what Crunchyroll has done, in so that the community who preserve anime and are translating it, some of those people have made it's created jobs so that a lot of people are able to be in the business professionally, and they're able to be professional translators or professional typesetters, and they're able to do what they love with the stuff that they love. I love anime, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to work with Discotek in some capacity. I'm able to get paid for work that ultimately I think gives back to that industry that I love so much and that I owe a lot to as a person. Um, but just in a community sense, even if you never want to make it your job and you just love it as a hobby, I think it's super additive because they are focusing on the hottest new shows, and they can take care of that. They can take care of the seasonal stuff and the new shit, and that thus you don't have a situation like you had in the 2000s where immediacy was the hot thing. Like they fan subbers would be killing the Western industry because fans obviously cared more about shows that were happening right now, that were airing right this second, um, hours out of Japan, and so they were losing a lot of revenue on that, and fans were caring more about that thing. Now that that's taken care of, those fan subbers, they get to focus on all the other stuff that was neglected, and basically the floor has been raised. So now we don't have to worry about whether fucking Precure is subbed um or if the latest fucking shonen is getting fan subbed or whatever. Now we can focus on this old show from the 70s or 60s that never got a fucking chance because the fan subbers were too busy prioritizing themselves with the new shit or the stuff that is like, yeah, we should probably have Ojimata Doremi fan subbed, or like some of these other shows. But like the more that gets fan subbed, the more access we have, and the wider accessibility we have. I don't know. I guess it's really really off topic and kind of not what we were talking about. But like, I don't see the point in villainizing these companies like Viz or Aniplex or Funimation, or the hate on Funimation is ridiculous. It's really obnoxious. Like, if you think you can do better, by all means, do your best. Try to get into that.
Right.
It's really obnoxious. Um, but yeah, it's like, if that's what it takes to promote your channel, and to get more accreditation, I think it's great. I think it's really good.
I guess I'm just trying to round it out because, well, first of all, because I apparently like quote unquote conked out for about 10 minutes. How long was I out?
I don't want to say. I don't know. A good fair while, but we kept it going. I think it was a
Yeah.
very nice conversation.
Oh, thank you. That was so awkward. Oh, it took 2 minutes. Well, seeing how we're way past time. I'll just conclude and say, like, I just think that in order for us to, like, as a YouTube, I know a certain someone in the chat tried so hard to wake me up. Yeah, but it worked out. It worked out. Anyway,
I loved this chat. I very much liked you having me on. Thank you very much.
Yes. Just to conclude, before we can all go to fuck the bed. I think that AniTube. I think AniTube, if they want to grow, I think we should try to look at other genres and how they grow. That includes using maybe buying marketing. I think using money to market your channels because we don't have the same appeal or grab. If we're trying to get past the stigma, throwing money at the problem might be a way to fix that. There's also, I'm not saying we should force shoutouts, but I'm saying that, like, we should figure out a way, like, at the very least, do more group collabs that would naturally shout out people without being much of an issue.
I would say that my advocacy would be for more unity, because I do see, like, these really talented people that are completely that isolate themselves for whatever reason, And I do think it's to their detriment, because I do think being in these conversations, being in these Discord servers with us, we encourage each other, we watch each other's stuff, we cheer each other on, and ultimately we get better, we inspire each other, and we make better content, which I think at the end of the day should be the end goal. I mean, these people who are isolated, I would assume they would want to make better content if they care about their channels, if they care about what they make, if they care about their audiences that they're cultivating.
No, that's true.
So if the end goal should be make better shit, I don't see. I think surround yourself with people who care about who know what you're going through, right? Who know your struggles and are in the same fight with you. You're in the game. Before I started making it, one of the things that kind of motivated me to finally make a video and make a channel was this conference that I don't really want to name because it's very shady and I ultimately shouldn't have been a part of it, but I did take some good out of it. But one of their kind of their phrases, I guess, was knowing your place, the difference between playing the game and being on the sidelines. When you're on the sidelines, you're just commenting and you're jeering, and you can have your conversations in your community, but ultimately you're not affecting anything. You're not affecting how the game plays. You're not changing history. You're not making anything. But if you're playing the game, if you're in it, then maybe you're not doing much. Maybe you're not a great player, or you're a smaller player, or you're on a weaker team. Sorry to extend this analogy more. But
maybe you're not tossing the salad. You're just bringing the
yeah,
dressing.
right. Maybe you're not adding any. Maybe you're just tossing the salad. But at least you're doing something, right? At least you're making something, and I think that's so valuable. And automatically, I automatically respect you a lot more than these other people. That no offense to the commenters and people that make videos and stuff. I just think it's super cool, and I want to help. I want to make it better, because I think, I think that just makes it greater. I don't know, pierces the heavens, some bullshit like that. Yeah, that would be my sense on it.
All right. Lamp, any last minute words or things with the chat before we all conk the fuck out? I'm so nervous.
I think we're good. I think we got everything taken care of there.
Woo.
Yeah, never good. I think we're all wrapped up.
Seriously, thanks everybody for showing up. This is probably one of our most successful CCP episodes. Turning 600 subs and all that jazz, and this thing, the fact that there's still double digits after I woke up is still amazing. It's great. Also, I turned off my phone because it wouldn't shut up during past streams. I had to turn it off for interference reasons. I was scared the whole silent noise would go up. But anyway, yeah, so we're just gonna head off. So this is so this has been me, Shannen, the anime misfit, always doing best to get the rest out of liking anime. My cohort, Lamp.
Thanks for watching with us.
Oh my god. You were waiting all stream to use that. And Shaybs.
It was great talking with you guys.
And hopefully some of y'all will stay over, subscribe, all that jazz. So anyway, see you guys in the next thing. Bye.
Bye-bye.